You are? You enjoy your swim, good swim. Enjoy your time. You are? Yeah. That's it. You know where I am if you ever need anything. Yeah. Now where's that fucking useless Jamie? Two seconds, Jamie.
Alright.
Love you, Jamie.
Love you too. Where is it there?
I need the switch. Oh,
Where?
Jamie Brazy. What a fucking guy. I didn't realise it was your birthday last Monday, Jamie. I didn't say it on Facebook or anything.
Yeah, it did.
Well, happy birthday for last Monday, Jamie.
There you go.
James! Quick, come here. He's going to bed in a minute, yeah. Put your mum on. Right, I'm going to say night love you to you as well because I'm streaming now. Right. Speak to your mum. Because you're going. Obviously, I'm streaming now.
Are you okay?
Password for spectating still Simplay 1.
No, Simplay, capital S, capital P, and then spec in capitals, SPEC.
Yeah.
We had to change it because DJ Phil found her.
Bye.
You see
SPEC, all capitals.
saying it's the wrong password.
Give me 2 seconds. You got the Simplay in capital S, capital P.
Simplay. Capital S, capital P.
And then spec.
SPEC. Wrong password.
Right, 2 seconds. Kicking us off. Here, Kyle Army. Join Matthew Duffy and Jamie Brazy. Ooh! I actually typed ooze. For all action. Link. Copy. Oh, no, wait. Copy the link. PN. Thank you very much. What's the... Yeah, I'll change that after. What's the... Jamie can't get in with it, though. Is the spec all in capitals or not? Ah, just the S's, Jamie. That's my bad.
Yeah. Alright, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll change that after tonight. Cheers, PM. Cheers, buddy. Best luck, mate. Oops. Just broadcast the fucking password. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Anybody wanting to come in and watch him play Motorsport, please click here.
Please listen back in the stream.
Live this, that one, paste, live, that one. Stream sharing, paste, live, that one, live. You. We'll go live in a minute when it fucking lets me fucking do all this shit. So you're done. Post you. Are you in now?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. What?
Hope that's alright, because I can't change that now. What's the man at the top of the leaderboard for the time being? 9 minutes left for free practice while I just get this streamed around. Did you have a good weekend out then?
Yeah.
Good man. What was it with Kaylee and family and everyone like?
No. Saturday night was me, Kaylee, and a load of mates.
Yeah.
We all went into the city, and then yesterday went for a family roast.
Nice. Sounds good, that. That. Oh, we'll be joined by a special guest for a little bit.
We'll be watching track limits.
Evening, Mike.
Evening.
Right. So Mike's now Murray Walker. He's a prime Murray Walker. Good lad.
Yep.
Oh, see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Right, just sharing the stream around a little more.
You only got 3 drivers in?
No, we've got fucking 13.
Do I just put the spectator password in to join as spectator?
Yes, mate. Yeah. Which I need to change. I had sort my OBS out today, and I forgot to mute the audio, so even though the music's playing, PN come in and said, we can hear you, you've just said the spectator password. I was like, amazing. Luckily enough, I said it was all in capitals, so I said it was wrong.
I can change it now if you want.
Without resetting server, it's going to be the same, I think, innit?
Oh, yeah, true.
So, just leave it for now. Only 4 people can get in anyway, so. Right. Night, Jamie. Love you. See you in the morning.
But I'll just run that line.
Paste it in there. You seen the mini heat wave we get in this weekend for the finale of touring cars?
Yeah, I'm going to smash my pizza oven out.
What, while Ford win a championship?
Yeah, love a good Ford win.
Shame it's not a different Ford. It's a shame it has to be Ash's son. What, do you need 2 points in race 1 over Tom Ingram?
Yeah.
Pissed it, Annie. Right, post you there.
Bought myself a little present as well.
Oh yeah, what'd you buy?
Napa track top.
Nice.
You know the top that Mazda had on
Yeah.
at Donington. Yeah, I bought that.
Nice. Is that trying to look like Mazda?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
No, I tried it on at Silverstone and Katie said it looked nice.
Fair play, dude. Right, that's that done. That's that on. That's that on. Right. Okie dokie. Just delete that, and that. Gary should be in, so we should have 14 drivers. Right.
What the future events? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
He's just posted a picture, he said I don't understand, and it's got Fury, Overtaker, Dan.
I don't know if he thinks this is AMP, but this is fucking... Right, okay. Right.
People can join, they're all in GT4s, aren't they?
Yeah, everybody's in a GT4, yeah. Plus, because I've changed the...
That's one thing I didn't change.
No, but because I've changed the password, it's only the GT4 chat that can see it.
Yeah, but they could still technically join in a GT3.
If they knew the password, yeah. Right, going live in 5, 4, 3... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Simplay Motorsport. We are here for the brand new series here at Simplay Motorsport. It's the GT4 series live on the calendar for you this evening. We're bringing it live from Kyle Army. GT4 is running alongside the GT3 package this year, so our support package running the exact same conditions, tracks, and everything as what the Pro and the Pro-Am boys will be. Obviously, the Am drivers will only have the one race to their name, but it's going to be a fantastic season. 13 drivers. We are expecting 14 drivers on the grid tonight, and we'll run through the cars and drivers in just a few moments' time. But before we do so, it's Matthew Duffin in the commentary box with Big Boy Brazier. Jamie Brazier is back with me in the box tonight. Jamie, good evening. Welcome along to the GT4s. How are we? And are we looking forward to getting this one off the go?
Good evening, Matt. I'm very looking forward to seeing how this one goes. We've had one fun race, or a few fun races in the GT4, but this is the first competitive race, so it'd be interesting to see what happens. And we've only had one meet, or one event at Kyle Army. I think that was GT3's last season, wasn't it? Yeah. So, and it's very different conditions to what that was.
It is very different conditions to what that was. It's earlier in the season. It's obviously first race for us tonight here in the GT4 and GT3 section. Obviously, Pro-Am and Pro are all waiting in the garages and are all waiting to get out on the track. And we're joined by a very special guest as well for the hour. That is one of our admins and our rule setter himself, Mike Matthews, aka Peaceful Explosion. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks.
Good to...
Yeah, should be interesting tonight.
Going to be interesting to see these GT4 cars get off the ground. We've obviously ran a fun event last week. We've had them in the 2.4 hour or whatever day and time you set it to. It was like a 2.5 day weather setting according to the in-game time. So we've seen GT4s on the track, but this is the first time they get to be ran proper series for these drivers to see what they can do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but no time lapse on this, so it shouldn't be going through 2 night cycles this time.
No night cycles this time, but there is night races coming up, and we'll bring you the calendar in... Apologies, just had to change the microphone level there. We'll bring you the calendar just now, and the calendar is an interesting one as we go through the season. Like we said, the GT4s follow the GT3s this year, so we start this week at Kyle Army, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and I believe, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th, believe the 5th of October as well. Yeah, the 5th of October as well. We're in South Africa, we're at Kyle Army, it's GT4 and GT3. Simplay Motorsport have taken over the South African track. We then head to Monza for the first of our European races. We head to round 2 of the season at Monza, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th of October. Imola is then race 3, and Imola could always chuck up a little bit of rain, but with weather around in Europe at the moment, it might surprise us. It might be a bit warmer than what we're expecting for mid-October. The Hungaroring returns on the 4th, for round 4 on the 23rd, 24th, 25th and 26th of October. Before we head to the Simplay's home circuit, really. It used to be Daytona. We've named it the Simplay Straight. Donington Park makes its long-awaited return, and it's the first time I actually get to race Donington Park on Simplay. The 30th, 31st, 1st and 2nd of October and November, we'll see Donington Park, which is the halfway stage of the season, before we head down under to Bathurst, where it'll probably be scorching for the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th of November. It is Bathurst, the tricky Mount Panorama track. Laguna Seca makes its return as well after a great debut in ACC last season. 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th of November for that one. Before we head to Japan, where it will more than likely rain on the 20th of November. 21st, 22nd and 23rd for the GT3s as well. Before the penultimate round of the season, back to Europe, the Nürburgring comes back after the Season 1 debut on ACC. And we end the season at Misano, the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th of December. Jamie, a calendar that provides a lot of races, but the other interesting thing is, for the Nürburgring, it will be a night race. For Bathurst, it will be a evening race, I do believe, and for Suzuka, it will be an early morning race. So a chance really now to bring back what we used to do on Project Cars 2 here at Simplay Motorsport and have that weather in the mix.
Yeah, so with the races being at different times of the day, it will suit different cars. So you might see different cars at the front. You'll probably still see a McLaren at the front, but there's the chance that it could bring another car to the front.
And looking at that calendar, Jamie, what excites you for this season? What is your track of fancy that we're looking forward to, commentary and possibly racing-wise?
Racing, it's got to be Donington, because the track just flows very well for me. But commentary, it's probably going to be Bathurst.
And Mike, the same question to you. Obviously, the night, morning and evening races coming in, giving us a different feel at Simplay Motorsport. We used to do it on Project Cars 2. What track are you looking forward to watch as a spectator, and what track are you looking forward to get out on the most?
I really like this track. I think, obviously, I'm in the Honda this season, and this track really gels with the Honda. But I normally like Nürburgring, but at night I seem to struggle with picking the braking point because it's so dark.
Yeah.
It's quite tricky, and if we end up with poor weather there as well, then that could throw something else in the mix.
And we know you normally like a good night race. You used to go well at Daytona.
Well,
yeah, we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one. The practice session, though, has came to an end. It's now time for our 15-minute qualifying session. Don't forget, this is week 1 of the championship, so it means that both sessions will be a qualifying before next week's reverse grid race. And look who's just got in, just in the nick of time for qualifying. In his old trusty Ginetta, it is Gary 131. We'll run down the grid when it reshapes up after the laps have been completed. We've got a couple of new drivers out there tonight, but a few bit of maintenance first. Dan, Unorthodox, race 2 will be race number 200 in the bank already early in the season. Drivers hitting milestones. Race 2 for Dan will be race number 200. We've said it for about 4 seasons now, but if Gary gets pole position, that'll be pole position number 25. It possibly won't happen, but we have to mention it because it's there on our screen. In terms of other little noticeable bits, Ginetta, 1 pole position away from its 25th, because in these GT4s, the manufacturer's stats count under the GT category. So if Ginetta gets its 25th pole, that's it's another target. So 25th pole for Gary, 25th pole for Ginetta, written in the stars, you'd think. If McLaren gets pole in John Andrews' hands, it will be its 50th pole position there as well. And there are other milestones coming in the season, none that are coming tonight. Overtaker, though, is the first man out on track, and he is in our Mercedes-Benz GT4 car. Jamie, a car that is well known in GT4s. It's a good choice in GT4s, especially on this Assetto Corsa game. It's a car that is one of the stronger picks you can have.
Yeah, it is one of the stronger picks you can have. It's definitely got some good power behind it. I've not really driven the Mercedes too much to know how it handles, but knowing Overtaker, he'll make that handle like a dream. I mean, he made the Maserati.
He made it sing at Brands Hatch, didn't he? On a track where the Maserati wouldn't have necessarily been a favoured car.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in that Merc.
It will indeed. He's in the Mercedes-Benz, and as is Mr. Graham. Mike, you've teamed with Sooty Apex for a number of seasons at Simplay Motorsport. He's in a Mercedes GT4 tonight. What do we expect from Sooty? We know that he's Not got the send it in his locker anymore, but what can he provide for us in this Mercedes-Benz?
With Sutty, anything can go really. He'll be here, no, aggressive setup, winging
in the right engine mode.
Yeah, in the right engine mode helps us recently. Matt has an experience.
Yeah.
It's Sutty. He gets a few laps in. Once he settles in, he'll get a flow, but it's how quick he can settle in that car.
It is indeed. Jamie, we turn to PN Motorsport, who's running the KTM Crossbow. A real strange choice for PN to run. Left field sort of choice, some may say. Not the best in the straight line speed, but he's picked it for the wet weather that may come later in the season with European circuits on the calendar. But we saw him drive it in the Brands Hatch event last Thursday. A bold choice for PN tonight.
Yeah, but PN's always been the sort of driver that will go for the bold choice. You look at him with the V12 Aston Martin, so it isn't really a shock to see PN in this car, but you don't ever really see the KTM in any GT4 fields really across any sort of racing really. You'd see one or two maybe here or there, but not as many as the other GT4 cars.
My two cars I actually skipped past. The next car would have been Dan Unorthodox. Mike, as he's already messed up turn one, we'll stay with Dan for now though. Our six-time champion at Simplays, running the Chevrolet Camaro, the big American muscle car. What can he do though tonight in this GT4? We know he's on the back foot in these support races. He's lost to Fury in the Porsche Carrera Cup. He's got to bounce back here, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going to be out for blood in GT4 to sort of cement him back at the front runner as in the leagues, really. Especially with Ripper running away with the other titles.
We then go to Fury, who's running the BMW M4. Jamie, we see that Fury runs a car. He likes the car on a knife edge. He loves it loose. He loves to catch the car through corners. The M4 tonight, the GT4 M4, should be a car that could provide Fury with a little twitchy, sketchy moments that he'll enjoy driving this season.
Oh, he'll enjoy driving it this season, and say, as we said in the Brands Fund races last week, that BMW's got good straight line speed, and there's quite a few long straights on this circuit, so that BMW should go well. But with Fury, he'll probably drop it on the formation lap again.
He probably will. We then turn to Bryn, who, you know, he tries his hand at a few other different events out there. He's running the pink and blue Chevrolet Camaro, a car that seems pretty stable when I tested it last week. Bryn's always a shout for a good result every now and again, Mike. He could throw up a few surprises in this GT4 category.
Yeah, I think if he can keep his nose clean, he can pick up a few places. He's a bit of a dark horse at times once he's settled in a car and gets into a groove. You just see him work his way up the order just quietly, minding his own business in a way.
He does indeed. We turn to Exist Tibbs, who's in a Chevrolet Camaro again, and, you know, American car, American driver, well suited, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely well suited. Hopefully that match up for them two, or for Tibbs going in an American car, brings him right to the front of the field. Yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. Smokey Devil, though, is another driver that's in the BMW M4. And Mike, he proved last season in Pro-Am how good a driver he is in that BMW. He's back in the Pro this year. He's stuck with the BMW for the GT4s. So that's going to surely give him some good luck. He seems to be becoming a bit of a fan of the BMW on this game.
Yeah, I think he can easily be a front runner in these races. They're not as fast, and I've not really driven these, so I don't know how leery they are compared to a GT3. You'd be better positioned to say that, but yeah, I think he'll be towards the pointy end of the grid.
I have to agree. We have our new driver, though, Kiss Anyika is what I'm going with. Probably mispronunciated that massively. But he's new, and he's in probably one of the favoured cars at Simplay Motorsport. If he was ever around during the Project Cars 2 era, you'd know that a lot of drivers loved the Ginetta GT4, especially Sutty Apex and Gary 131 from our old THR driving days. But a new driver, Jamie, in the Ginetta. We still see the Ginetta on the grids like British GT nowadays, and he looks like he's got a bit of pace already. Second best to Overtaker at the moment, but, you know, that's Overtaker's qualifying pace for you. New guy, new car, let's see what he can do.
Yeah, let's see. Indeed. So he might not be up there straight away, just getting used to how how everyone drives in the Sea of Fury is just on second. So tonight might be a bit more of a learning curve for him, but hopefully he can have a decent result.
Hopefully you can. Everybody's favourite radio DJ in the Audi, the green and red liveried Audi for DJ Phil. Mike, DJ Phil, he always turns up. He always finishes races. He's actually got the most race starts at Simplay Motorsport. He's always there. He's always turning up. What can DJ Phil do in this season? Is it experience for him again?
Yeah, I think Phil just needs more wheel time, improve his racecraft a bit. Pace will come slowly. Yeah. But yeah, he's in near enough every event that we're there that we do. So yeah, it's good to see he's still going. He's still putting in the laps and doing his best.
He is indeed. John Andrews, Jamie, in the McLaren GT4. He had a good week last week at Brands Hatch in the GT4 McLaren. Had a few good surprising results in them 3 races. Going to be interesting to keep our eyes on that McLaren again. Another of the favoured GT4 cars for the season.
Yeah, so hopefully he can bring his good pace with Brands over and challenge Fury, because we know Fury is going to be right up there, and challenge Dan as well.
Dennis Newman back from season 1. He was in Pro-Am in a Audi. He's back in an Audi this time round, and he's in the white and I'm going to go green, bluey green, turquoisey kind of colour of the Audi GT4. Mike, this guy was seriously quick in the limited events we saw him in Pro-Am season 1. He's back. He seems determined as ever. He seems vocal on the Discord. He's up for this season, and it seems like he's up for the challenge in both GT4 and GT3.
Yeah, in the pre-season practice sessions that we've had, he seems pretty quick, to be fair. I think he'll definitely be a front runner. His racecraft seems alright, so it's a case of seeing what he can do on the nights.
It is indeed. Future Revenge in the pits. He's in the Ginetta. We saw him in Am last season in the Bentley. Get a few decent results. Never been on the podium at Simplay Motorsport. It's going to be tough, Jamie, to see what he can do. But the Ginetta is a good, stable choice for him to get used to these GT4 cars.
Yeah, it's a good, stable choice to get for GT4, and it's good. Probably be a good car for him to learn the game more, and probably a bit more stable than the Bentley.
And the final driver tonight, he's currently sat P6. He's running. Not quite sure what that livery is on. It's like a checkered flag down the side. But Gary 131, our 2-time champion, was always good in the Ginettas back on the previous league of THR. He's back in the Ginetta tonight, Mike. It's track time on ACC for him. It's just great to see Gary back out there.
Yeah, the man who keeps saying that he doesn't like ACC. He loves it, doesn't he? He wants this. He wants to improve so he can get back to the front where he belongs. He's got a secret love for ACC, I think.
I think he has as well. 5 3/4 minutes left then of the qualifying session. It's currently Overtaker that leads the way, 6/10 clear of Fury. Dan's back in the pits, 9/10 back with Kiss Anyika in 4th place. Exis Tibbs is P5. Gary's down in 6th place, so not bad from Gary there. Smoky Devil currently running 7th, with Brilliant 8th, PM Motorsports 9th, ahead of Sutty Apex, who's well off the pace at the moment, DJ Phil. Then Dennis Newman, John Andrews, Future Revenge, yet to come out the pits as Gary nearly loses it all over the curb. Who's next to come to the line? It is Fury. Good evening in the chat, Peaceful Stepdad, Micro J's, Daz Automatic, Hypertech, Fury's granddad, PM Motorsport, and Fury's mum as well. So very good evening to you all in the chat. Jamie, though, strong car tonight. What driver are we thinking as Fury improves 4/10? What driver are we thinking for tonight? What car do we think could be the best car this season?
I'm going to have to say it's going to have to be BMW, which is going to be the best car this season. There's a lot of power circuits, and we've seen from brands that BMW just is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line.
Rocket ship in a straight line. Weather, though, the factor. Does that not change your mind at all?
But we haven't seen these cars in the wet weather, so I'm just kind of going off what I know,
what we've
really.
Seen. Yeah. So BMW, any driver that you particularly fancy in this series this season?
It's got to be a hard one, that, I think.
Yeah.
You've got Overtaker, who we know has got pace in pretty much any car, any track, any format, really.
Yeah.
He was the Ripper before we had actually Ripper.
The Ripper.
And then you've got Dan. Yeah, he's 9/10 off Overtaker, but it's Dan. He's going to be up there. Fury is. providing he can keep it on the track and not lose it on the warm-up lap, trying to see if he can take all the rubber off his tyres like he does. But yeah, you never know. Gary, Dennis Newman, both could surprise a result, even Smokey. You only need one incident to put them at the front. So.
And we've obviously got the new Ginetta of Casey in P3, who's obviously 7/10 off the back of overtake. What can he do? But it's a sprint, not a marathon. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. We have got another driver who signed up today. Unfortunately, will not be taking part tonight. He'll be back. He'll be with us next week for his debut, who has picked the Maserati, Jamie. So next Monday night, the Maserati at Monza. That could be one heck of a car choice.
Oh yeah, that could be one heck of a car choice. What I was then about to say was just wait until Gary gets to Donington in the Ginetta.
Well, Gary has just gone P3, so he's already finding the grooves in the Ginetta. I just want to turn to Mike, though, for a moment. Mike, we've been in the admin chat. We've done a lot of discussions over the off-season. Rules have changed. Just talk us through a couple of key rules that we have changed this season and what we expect to see throughout the season as we go on.
Yeah, so obviously for the drivers, they've got a pre-race check-in. We started it, was it last season or the first season we used it?
Last season.
They need to do that. So for the reverse grid, we know, you know, when you're putting out the reverse grid, that is your position. It's not going to change. So they really need to keep on top of this. There's a few little changes. One, the pit lane entry, we had a few issues with. Quite a few felt it was harsh penalties. And yeah, touching the line and getting a 30-second penalty was pretty harsh. So we're changing that on depending on the advantage gained. And the rule is you must not cross the line, not just touch, it's cross. So you can touch the line as long as your tyre is not over it. And in that, that's only the line separating the track and the pit entry or exit.
Which was a big change. There was obviously a couple of decisions last season.
The side where it's edge of track, that's normal track limit rules apply. So where you got penalised at Brands Hatch, your two tyres were in.
Wasn't going to mention it.
So
wasn't going to mention it.
Well, it changed Brands on the calendar because it did run that rule this time. But hey, it's not.
Yeah, as Fury comes to the line now and doesn't improve.
Penalties are going to be for cars if they don't go in the reverse grid slot for tonight and this week. It obviously won't matter. And the lead car, the lead car has to go slow for the first sector or two until they know the grid is set. Because if they go off full throttle on the limiter, you can't catch up.
Yeah.
Especially if you're at the back and you need to be at the front. You can't get there, so we've got to keep on top of that and point that out to the drivers, really.
And I think this is a thing this season, isn't it, that we are, we've gave you a bit of leeway in the last couple of seasons. This season, it seems to be kind of, we're stamping down our authority, and any mistakes, you're gonna have the book thrown at you.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think time penalties for incidents are going to be more harsh now.
Yeah.
You've still got the penalty points, what can result in qualifying bans, race bans, season bans if you rock up that much. Someone was close to that last season. But yeah, it's time penalties are going to be the big one. You'll see some big time penalties, I think, coming for some big incidents.
Indeed, you will. Gary, just say, Jamie, 2/10 off the back of Overtaker and he's on his final flying lap. Everybody now, though, is on the final flying lap. Apart from Overtake, Smokey Devil, Tibbs, Bryn, PN, Sutty, DJ Phil and Future Revenge, who didn't get a lap time in. Dan will be the first one to end his qualifying. He comes through the cheetah and into the final corner now. And Dan will be the one to set his benchmark and really to kind of set his grid slot. Where will it put him on the grid as he comes down towards the timing screen? He doesn't improve. Gary backs out of his lap as Fury crosses line, a chance for pole, and he takes the pole at the very end. Fury starting the season off, and with Dan just in front of him, he has already made a statement to Dan that, look, mate, you've got to bring your A game because Fury's coming to play this year, Joe.
Yeah, Fury's already laid down a marker, not just to Dan, but to Overtaker. Because Overtaker, we know him as Mr. Qualifying, and Fury had just decided to go, right, I'm going to go 3/10 faster. What can you, right, now, Your move, Overtaker.
Yeah, your move, Overtaker, indeed. Kiss to the line, goes up to P4, knocks Dennis back down 1 place. But Dennis is still on a lap. He will be the last car to complete qualifying. Needs to find 7/10 of a second if he's to knock Fury off that top spot at the moment. It doesn't look likely for Fury to be beaten, and Dennis will remain in P5 as we return to garage, ready for the start of the race. Your grid order looks like this. It's Fury from Overtaker, Gary with Kiss P4, Dennis P5. Unorthodox P6, Smoky Devil 7th, Exit Tibbs 8th, Bwin is in P9 with PM Motorsport P10, Sooty Apex 11th, John Andrews 12th, DJ Phil 30th, Overtaker 14th, and Future Revenge. No lap time now. Ignore Overtaker and his Bentley time in 14th. Sorry, Future Revenge will be 14th. Overtaker must have loaded in the wrong car as it now disappears. Mike, pick for a race winner.
Gary.
Oh, now
I think Gary's got the pace. I think Overtaker and Fury will collect each other at some point because they're both very aggressive drivers.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll give each other an inch. And I think there's going to be contact.
This will be something that Dan will mention on Thursday night. But Fury and Overtaker, I'm not going to give what cars they are in away. They're teammates this year. So you want to start the relationship off well and not wipe each other out at turn 1 of the first race. Although there's no team games in this format, you don't want to hit each other going into Thursday night. Now, Mike has always fell foul to the commentator's curse when he's been selected for a race win. So let's see what happens to Gary's night in this first race as Mike has just selected him. Jamie, race winner, tip for you?
I'm going to go with Fury.
30 seconds.
To be different, I'm going to go with Overtaker then. Just because why not? So Kiss might win this from P4 because we've just cursed the top 3. 20 seconds left though before the formation lap is here, and like Mike said in the rules and regulations, obviously it changes this year, the formation lap stays as it is. Today it will be absolutely fine. This whole week will be absolutely fine. It will be grid order from what the qualifying sets as. It is as from next week when the reverse championship orders come into play, and that it's going to be the interesting one. So yeah, let's see what happens. Should be an absolute fascinating one. As we are underway then for the formation lap, and we're obviously going to keep our eyes on the P1 man. Fury is the one to keep our eyes on. Fury is the one to watch, because he will probably spin on the formation lap, and if he is listening, he's probably now going to take it very careful and make sure he doesn't do a single thing wrong.
The drivers have got to back off a bit. I think they need to remember that they're not to be driving through other cars. Stick in your position, and if it slows down, you slow down.
Yeah.
Seems to have settled.
So Gary's red and green livery. Interesting colours for Gary there. Yeah, very interesting is Ginetta. Nice pink and white for Kiss there. Same livery as Gary, but white and pink. That's very nice. Dennis Dooman in a white and greenish kind of coloured car. Dan running pink, yellow and black as Smoky Devil's just got himself ahead of Dan a little bit there.
Going out of position.
Smoky Devil running looks like a default livery. Tibbs in just black. Bryn in a light blue with pink Chevrolet as the camera is going to pan around. With a bit of green on it, green wheels. PM Motorsport, he says it's the Benetton coloured KTM Crossbow. Interesting. Sooty Apex running his Dynaco Racing Mercedes-Benz as Future Revenge. Actually got past Sooty Apex and DJ Phil, so he needs to drop back to 14th place. DJ Phil running the green and red Audi, and Future Revenge running a... what colour would you say that is? Like an aqua, a turquoisey kind of colour on his Ginetta, Jamie?
When he comes into view, yeah, it's kind of a turquoisey.
Yeah.
I think Smokey, has misunderstood what position he's in, because he keeps going between Dan and Dennis.
Well, hopefully that gets sorted rather soon. Who's car 56? John Andrews. What has happened to John Andrews? He is way off the back of the pack at the moment. Should be P12 between Sooty and DJ Phil, but is well off the back of the pack at the moment. So at the minute for John Andrews, starting on the back foot. Luckily enough, though, he has got a lot of track to regain that ground and get slot in between Sooty and DJ Phil here. But the problem is, Jamie, he'll be bouncing off the rev limiter.
Yeah, and he'll have to start right at the back, and well, perhaps he have to quickly run off and do something quickly. I can just see him in the background now, catching up to the back.
It's not the worst place to be going in long run down to turn 1, Mike. We know it's carnage here at turn 1. You felt the wrath of that last season. So it might not be the worst thing for John Andrews to drop back a little bit here.
Well, it all depends if he drops back and can still brake enough, you know what I mean?
Sore throat there, Mike, yeah?
But yeah, it's a long run, and if you get a good toe, as well as a slight jump on the guy in front, you can easily beat someone into turn 1.
As they head through,
it's quite a hard braking zone as well.
It is indeed. They head through the cheetah then and down toward Ingui. And for the first time in the Simplay Motorsport season of ACC, it's the 3rd season of ACC. The first time, though, the GT4s will be on the package. Good evening to Mother Davis in the chat. We are about to get green and go here. It looks like John Andrews has caught back up to the rear of the pack, possibly got in position. We are, though, green and go for the start of this race. Pit window is open, so drivers can pit to change their tyres at any time. And it is a good launch from Fury already in this race. And look at Gary 131 attacking the outside of Overtaker already into turn 1. Dan's thought of a late lunge and manages to get it stopped into turn 1. He's got up the inside of Kiss, though. Gary and Overtaker come back into sort themselves out. Dan, though, moves into P4 ahead of Dennis Newman and Kiss already through the first couple of corners up towards turn 4. Fury's got a good lead. Dan's in 5th. Smokey hasn't followed him through. It's Kiss who's dropped down to P5. Smokey's moved up to 6th place. And that is Tibbs round. He's got a tap there from one of it. I think it's Dennis Newman who has put Tibbs in the wall. And Tibbs already to the back of the pack on the opening race. Not where he wants to be. But Jamie, apart from that, all relatively clean through the first half of the lap.
Yeah, all relatively clean. Fury's got a slight advantage, and Dan's having to go at Gary coming through through this corner. He's on the outside. I don't think he's going to get the job done unless he gets done into the hairpin. But Kiss is lurking in the background.
Oh!
Dan goes for a dive. Yeah, he goes for a dive bomb. Gary turns in.
Yeah, and that Dan, you have to say there, 6-time world champ. Day late, dollar short, just didn't come up with the best solution. They were dive bombing Gary late on the brakes. Gary clipped Dan there as Gary went to turn in, but Dan, a huge send it, didn't pull off. Now Kiss is looking on the back of Dan. Is Kiss going to think of sending it into the other hairpin? Doesn't think of getting it done, and Dan has to filter in. A strange error there from Dan, Mike, early on in this race.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get on the back of Overtaker and Fury as soon as possible. I think he's going to be frustrated he can't get past Gary, but we all know what Gary's like. He doesn't make it easy for you, so he's got to make them opportunities count when he sends it.
He does indeed. So Fury completes lap 1 in the lead from Overtaker with Gary. Then it is Dan. Kiss has that BMW power look of Smokey Devil, Jamie, coming side by side with him. Almost here. Future Revenge boxes straight away. He's the first man into the pits, and Smokey up the inside of Kiss, down the straight here at Kyle Army. They just bumped doors a little bit, and Smokey will get that job done. He's moved up to P5. A little wiggle on the curb there for Kiss. Dennis Newman. Sooty, by the way, further back for 8th and 9th. He's been really hounded by Bryn. 2 liveries are very similar, apart from the white and green, and Bryn really putting pressure on the back of Sooty Apex here, and we don't see him defend often. We normally see him very aggressive, Mike, on the attack. Strange territory for Sooty to be in.
Yeah, he'll get frustrated if Bryn gets past him. He won't be happy. You never know in the GT4. Are we going to see a Sooty send it again?
Well, yeah,
to do a proper send it, isn't it?
It's been a long time. Bryn looked around the outside there, Jamie, at Sunrise, and it's a good chance for him. It's a bit of a wiggle there for Sooty on the exit, and is this Bryn's opportunity?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. So he's going to hold it around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next corner, but Bryn could look for a dive bomb into the hairpin.
This is a good little scrap at the moment. John Andrews has got Tibbs on the back of him. We're just going to drop back to Gary 131 and Dan. As we say this, actually, Gary's gained more ground over Overtaker and pulled away from Dan a little bit. So Gary in that middle sector really strong at the moment in his Ginetta. A Bryn now with that Chevrolet power underneath him. Can he get the job done? They come down towards the Crocodile's hairpin then. And Bryn pulls to the outside. Is he going to cut back up the inside? He just gives Sooty a tap up the rear. That's put Sooty very wide. And Bryn immediately stops on the brakes to let Sooty go. But PM Motorsport, thank you, Mama, for the carrots. First one of them of the season. He's going to gain 2 places at one corner.
Yeah, but he's just hit the sausage curb and run wide. So Sutton might look to get that position back. But Bryn's going for a dive bomb, but thinks better of it.
Gary here really putting pressure on Overtaker, and Joe at the minute is being allowed to get away in this race lead. 2.5 second lead as they start the second lap. Only Future Revenge has pitted so far, and Gary, Mike, all over the back of Overtaker here. We're seeing the old Gary as he's going up the inside now, up into turn 4, gives Overtaker a slight bump on the exit in the corner, but Gary 131 moves into second place, and Mike, he looks feisty in this Ginetta today.
Yeah, I think it's in a car that he's like, he's back settled in his roots, he's in a groove in this one. He struggled and he's getting set up in the GT3s, but no, it's Gary. Normally you see him have a weak race 1 and then it makes about 3 tweaks without telling anyone, and next minute he's at the front of race 2.
And we know he doesn't tell anyone, especially when he's in the same car as him. We know what it's like to get a setup off of Gary. Oh yeah, I might have changed this. Oh, cheers mate, we've started the race now. But no, you're right. He tweaks just the 1 or 2 things, doesn't he? And all of a sudden finds a little bit of pace.
Yeah, he's good at. He knows how to tune a car, which helps, because if something's wrong, he'll make 1 or 2 tweaks, and all of a sudden it's there. Where a few of us, it's like, give me 3 hours, and I'll get that dialed out.
Yeah, you're still not quite happy with your Honda going into the season Thursday.
No, it's just not here. It's feeling lovely, but yeah, a few of the tracks, it's just not. There's something not quite right. It just doesn't feel as comfortable as it does here.
Well, so, Jamie,
we'll see.
Sutty Apex and Britain have got past PM Motorsport. Tibbs has cleared DJ Phil and John Andrews, and John Andrews now right on the back of DJ Phil here, looking racy. Is John, in fact, 2 wheels on the grass into the Crocodiles, Jamie. They touched doors. And John Andrews, oh no, he's going to give it him back.
Yeah, he's going to let him have it back. But yeah, they've been battling pretty much half a lap now.
They have indeed, and Bryn's still within a second of Sutty Apex. He's not like that one goat. Kiss within 8/10 of Smoky Devil, but he's got Dennis Newman catching the back of him. When the camera wants to pan to Gary 131, we'll see that he's put a bit of daylight between himself and Overtaker. And Dan just not making any inroads at the moment. He seems to have got to 4th place, and that seems to be the only thing he can get out of it at the minute.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be able to close in on Overtaker, considering as well Overtaker and Gary have been having a bit of a battle.
Having a bit of a battle indeed. That pole position for BMW, by the way, is BMW's 40th pole position. It's taken it above Porsche in terms of pole positions, and that is Fury's 20th. He now moves ahead of Overtaker in the pole position stats for Simplay Motorsport since we have been going in GT cars. So that is not touring cars or Formula 1 stats, that is just GT racing. But Overtaker starting to lose out here.
PN just ran wide. I saw Bryn have a bit of a wiggle, thought he was going to lose it, but PN then had a wiggle at the same corner, and Tibbs is now up into the top 10.
He is into the top 10, and I tell you what, Mike, you were saying earlier that Smokey, don't discount him for a couple of good results. He's 5th place at the minute, and he actually looks like he's making some inroads on Dan here. 1.1 off the back of Dan through Sector 2. As he's gone very wide. That was Overtaker wide as well. So will Dan see an opportunity to catch Overtaker? But Smokey, Mike, looking racy. Dan takes a lot of curb at the cheetah there.
Yeah, Overtaker did as Smokey did as well. Sort of followed him off. We know Smokey. He's a fast driver. He just has a few, like the season he struggled in Pro. Pro-Am got him settled a bit better last season. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. Both tonight and the rest of the week.
Hot Wheels Racing is his team name. With Shane this year, teamed with Shane, sticking with the BMW M6. Evening to Wolfinator in the chat. Smokey Doe's had a wiggle through turn 1, and this could give Kiss the opportunity to bounce as the cameraman pans around Kiss, looking all over the back of Smoky Devil. Breaks a little deeper to avoid the back of Smoky Devil. This is give Dennis Newman the opportunity now, Jamie, but that Audi just doesn't seem to have the momentum to come through. DJ Phil has pitted for tyres. Pit window is open for the entirety of this race. You can pit whenever. And Mike, another thing in the rules this season, refueling is back.
Yeah, so refueling is back. We stopped it because we found out it on PS4 it doesn't add any time, and people didn't know, so we took the advantage of that away. But we've announced it this season, so if you want to run a half fuel pit, and when you pit for tyres, you fill up the rest of your fuel, it doesn't add any more time. So it's down to, we know some people feel that a higher fueled car is more stable for them, so then they can run the full fuel. Like a low fuel car, run it on half. Why not?
Why not indeed, Jamie? That would be one of the tactics that drivers would have looked at tonight with refuelling in the bag. The other one to look at as well as DJ Phil's been passed by Future Revenge and just been passed by Future Revenge and Sen, sorry.
Dan's just run wide again.
So that'll allow Smokey Devil a chance. One thing to mention with these GT4 cars, though, Jamie, no tyre blankets for their tyres. So when they do change their tyres and put fresh tyres on, they are stone cold. Not relatively warm like the GT3s. Stone cold tyre prep on that opening lap. Maybe not today with the track sitting at 45 degrees, but in the future races, tyre temp on that opening out lap will be absolutely vital.
Yeah, and it could mean more undercuts that we could see in the GT4s compared to GT3s. Dan's just run really wide into turn 2, and Smokey can now sniff the back of that Camaro.
1.2. Dan struggling at the moment. So your race order so far, it's Fury from Gary 131, overtake a third. Dan fourth, he's wide again. He has another moment halfway through the race. Dan starting to struggle in his Camaro, and it is Smokey Devil running P5 with Kiss in 6th, Dennis Newman 7th, Sooty is P8 when the cameraman wants to pick him up. There he is. He's got Bryn hassling the back of him again. Bryn having a good night in the Camaro. Tibbs is trying to come back here. PN's running 11th, normally pits early but hasn't tonight. John Andrews is now in the pits in 12th. With Future Revenge running 13th, DJ Phil running 14th. And one thing that happened this week, I don't know if people heard, Mike wouldn't have heard, DJ Phil sending pit drivers messages in GT4 saying that he's going to take the fight to them this season. So fighting talk from DJ Phil.
It'll be interesting to see how he does this season, really. We know he can have a decent result, he can pick a few places up. So yeah, it's hard in this GT4 series because you've got a mixture of GT3 Pro-Am and Am drivers.
Yeah, massively so, as Future Revenge will pass John Andrews on after John Andrews' pit stop. John Andrews is now away. Oh, and he's been speeding in the pit lane, so he's got a 30-second stop-go. Well, that is going to ruin his race. Bryn getting drawn in by Tibbs and catching up to Sooty. What's happened?
Smokey's just hit the curb that you don't want to hit.
So did Dan, and Dan has got damage on the rear. He's nearly just dropped it in the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he's just clipped the pit wall on entry, actually, in terms of turning the corner. Dennis Newman in as well. What will Sooty Apex do then to Smokey? Kiss has lost out to Smokey then over the start line, so he's got to do that one again. Gary's brought the gap down to Fury this lap. Tibbs has decided to box. Now, Tibbs looks like he's had good pace with that bit of damage. Bryn getting that rear end, stepping out in that Chevrolet Camaro. We're not seeing the best of runs from these Chevrolets, and KTM Expo of PM Motorsport in the pits as well. But for John Andrews, that has ruined it for him. Come on, Tibbs, says Hypertech. As Daz, what a comedian. Not sure what Daz's comment is for there.
Dan missed his pit box.
Ah, brilliant.
Dan's just had to reverse in the pit lane. But yeah, there's damage on the rear of that Camaro, so that might be hindering him slightly. Yeah,
that might be. So 4 cars into the pits. Fury's opened that gap back up to Gary, but it's Smokey Devil putting Kiss under some pressure at the moment. Hypertech, I'd better get myself ready then if DJ Phil is taking it to us this season. That you had. Dan and Dennis Newman are away. And Dennis, look how close he is to Dan after Dan's pit stop. Tibbs and PN in the pits. PN, you feel may jump Tibbs here in this pit stop. But with 7.5 minutes remaining, Mike, track temp sitting at 45 degrees. These tyres must be cooking by now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting this race. I think you can get away with it because you're changing tyres, aren't you?
Yeah.
Relatively quickly. The 45-minute race might make people need to conserve tyres a bit more. Bathurst may be interesting because that'll be summer when we take the weather for that.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see now whether Kiss and Smokey now react to Dennis and Dan.
Well, Gary and Fury both box. Overtaker will take the lead of this race. Kiss and Smokey Devil both react to that. And Dan and Smokey into the back of Kiss in pit lane. We've seen that before. 50-50, I reckon there, Jamie.
Yeah, that looks 50-50.
Smokey Devil there. That one was a little worse than one at Zolder in Season 1. Sooty has dropped Bryn, and Sooty, come on, charging into the pits. That could be a stop-go penalty for speeding. Bryn nice and casual in. John Andrews in for his stop-go penalty, but it's Overtaker who leads the race, and Dan, where's he going to come out in relation to Kiss and Smokey Devil? Well, they've got to repair some damage, you imagine, to their car now, so he should clear them. Dennis will be the interesting one.
Kiss was struggling to find his pit box then. He was crawling through because he's right in the middle of a few.
Dennis is about. Dennis is in about to go deep.
Fury's out now.
Fury's out. Gary's now away. He's moving now. So good stop from Fury, good stop from Gary. Dan still nowhere near. What about Kiss and Smokey? They are not moving at the moment. And Dan's exiting the final corner. I think it's more Dennis we're watching here. Smokey now is away. Kiss still in the pits at the moment. And here comes Dennis and Unorthodox. And Dan will get through past Smokey Devil, as will Dennis Newman. As Smokey Devil and Kiss leave the pits now, they've both been jumped by Dennis Newman, and Unorthodox has gapped them even further than what it was. So Smokey's got to go and do all that hard work again. Sutty has dropped Bryn. Bryn is now away, and it is only Overtaker left to pit with 5 minutes remaining. The interesting thing, guys, about this track, the finish line is after all the pit boxes. So in this 20-minute race, you could pit at the very last second.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point on that. There's a few tracks where it's like that. So is that Overtaker's plan? Because we've known in the short races we've done that gives you a big advantage, actually.
He's in now.
It does give you a big advantage. He's in now. Geez, that looked a little quick from Overtaker there, but this guy knows what he's doing. He's no slouch when it comes to this game. He knows he's got to change his tyres up. That looks quick down pit road.
He was doing about 70 down the pit.
Did he go into second gear there, I wonder? Right, where's Fury? He's coming through
he's
the top hairpin.
Overtaker's just had to reverse in the pit lane.
Oh no, so that's going to really have ruined his chances of jumping at Fury and Gary then. Gary looks like he's lost more time to Fury at this moment in the race. What's the gap? 7.1, so he's lost a lot of time to Gary.
7.4 coming out of the pit, so he lost a lot in the pit.
Lost 4 seconds in the pit lane. I wonder if that's that little bit of damage. We saw him in Overtaker have a bit of contact. Exit Tibbs, though, right on the back of Sutty Apex. So he has split Bryn and Sutty. Bryn's lost 9 seconds to Sutty Apex. That's a lot of time as well for Bryn to lose. But Tibbs, American driver, American car, he's on a charge at the moment.
Fury now gone through. Overtaker is away. So he's going to be behind Gary.
Yeah, he's going to be behind. And he's got a 30-second stop-go penalty. We said it was quick in the pit lane. And as Overtaker just threw away a podium, Gary Nails goes into second place. Dan can see Overtaker and will not need to worry about catching him. Overtaker now has just threw this away. Tibbs is looking left, right, each way till Sunday on the back of Sutty Apex. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in this race. And Tibbs at the moment looking good guns in terms of cleaning on the back of Sutty. Down the straight they come now to start lap 8 of their race. And it's Sutty defending like he does from Exis Tibbs. Pro-Am rivals last season. Tibbs now in Pro. Sutty and Pro-Am. He defends that inside line. Tibbs looks to the outside. Looking for that switchback maybe? No. Sutty Apex. Touring car-esque. Just parks her on the Apex. An absolute peach.
Yeah, he does. Tibbs is now going to look for the cutback. Goes to the outside. Sutty goes tight into the corner. Here comes the Camaro. But he's on the outside line. Can he use the power of it to get through? He's not going to get there in time.
No, he's going to be on the outside, and I think he's going to have to yield that. He actually got in front of Sutty there, Jamie. At the timing screen looks, it's put him 8th and Sutty 9th. So he did actually just creep ahead there, but outside of the corner, he's had to bail on that one. Overtaker, though, 30-second stop-go penalty. What's he going to do?
Sutty's just ran a little bit wide, and Tibbs is sniffing, looking at the contents of Sutty Apex boot.
Yeah,
Gary's on a bit of a mission at the moment, boys. He's only 5.7 behind Fury now.
He's brought the gap down a lot here, and he's going good guns at the moment. Is Gary? We're watching the Tibbs Sutty fight. Though, when does Overtaker take his stop-go penalty, Jamie and Mike? That's the question.
I think he's just got to dive straight in and get it out of the way.
Yeah, he's got to get straight in and take it.
But saying that, like you said, is it worth doing it at the end? Because then he hasn't got to wait to accelerate out the full pit lane.
Yeah,
he's got enough time. He's got 2 laps remaining. It's only 2 minutes, so yeah, he could do it on the last lap and minimise the time trying to build up speed again.
Well, Overtaker's just put a lap on John Andrews. John Andrews goes very wide for Dan to now put a lap on him, and Dan's within half a second of Overtaker. The problem for Dan here is he's not going to want to fight Overtaker too hard, knowing Overtaker's got that penalty to his name.
No, he's not going to want to fight too hard. Tibbs still looking on the back of Sutty. He's dropped back ever so slightly from now, but Sutty has just gone very deep into turn 2. Tips nowhere near close enough.
Nowhere near close enough. PN within 7/10 of Bryn. I think Bryn got back past PN this lap, so I think Bryn must have made a mistake somewhere. But for Dan, race number 199, it could be a podium going his way at the moment because he's, well, half a second from Overtaker, but Overtaker has that huge penalty. Gary, though, is still just chipping away ever so slightly at Fury's lead here. But Tibbs, you have to say, that early spin on lap 1 got him some big damage. He's really done well to get back through the pack and fighting for P8 at the minute.
Yeah, you got to give him credit, and yeah, he's had a solid race considering the way he started. He got caught up. I don't know who caught him at the start, but yeah, to get damage at the start and then pull your way back, and now he's fighting Sutty for mid pack. That's a good result. I think I'd take that result.
Yeah, indeed, it was absolutely fantastic to see from him, and I wonder what he can do in the rest of this session then. So Tibbs trying to get past Sutty Apex. Leader now is on the final lap, we're being told. So Fury on the final lap. Overtaker comes into the pits. So he's not left it till the very last minute. He's gone in now. That's an interesting tactic here, because where's he going to feed out in this one? That's going to be the one to keep our eyes on.
Has he misjudged, thinking he'll cross the line at naught?
Possibly so. Possibly so.
See, he won't.
Well, Dennis is through, Dan's through, Smokey's through. Kiss comes through now. Sutty Apex and Tibbs are going to come through. Bryn is coming into the last corner. Jamie, you keep your eyes on when Overtaker moves away.
I've got him on there.
Bryn's round the final corner. PN's through the final corner. Future Revenge is at the final corner. He's out of it now.
Moving now.
Right, so I think he's going to come out ahead of DJ Phil. So P12 it looks to be for the Overtaker. Stop go cleared. He's out behind Future Revenge and has this lap to get the job done. Tibbs has one lap to get Sutty Apex done. He's right on the back of Sutty Apex, pretty much pushing him through as they come to Sunrise. But for Fury, he's already at the hairpin. We'll come back to Fury in a moment. Tibbs side by side with Fury, with Sutty once again.
He has to yield through there once again. He's going to look for a send it on the send it master.
No, Sutty knows how to defend the send it indeed, and Sutty looking a little wiggly. Tibbs has to just go a little wide there. We go though towards the cheetah as Fury, who has a big moment on the curb. Geez, you would not want to lose it on the last lap there. Get this corner right. He bounces over the cheetah as well. Really risking it here is Joe in this one. But he won the Porsche Carrera Cup. He won every race bar one. He starts the GT4 season as a race winner once again. It is Fury CBK who starts where he left off. Gary 131 back on the podium. Great to see for Gary. Back on the podium. Dan on Orthodubs. Well, what can you say about him? Possibly a bit fortunate to be on the podium there. P3 for him. A good job nonetheless. Dennis will come across the line for P4. DENIS. What a job for him. Smoky Devil will be P5. Up and down race for him. Kiss will be P6 on his debut here at Simplay Motorsport. John Andrews, a lap down, will cross the line 14th place. Kiss, decent debut. Sutty Apex has managed to hold off of Tibbs there and will finish P7. Great battle for Sutty. Tibbs in 8th. Bryn is going to cross the line in P9. Bryn attacked Sutty and attacked Tibbs all race. He then managed to... He just didn't have the pace after the pit stops. Bryn P9. PN will take P10.
Overtaker just hit the wall on the exit. He couldn't quite get future Revenge.
So
at the end.
He got DJ Phil though. DJ Phil's got to come across the line. Overtaker 12th, DJ Phil 13th, and then as we know, John Andrews 14th place. That though was your race one. We will be right back in a few moments' time with qualifying 2 and the second race of the season. Don't go anywhere. Moments' time with qualifying 2. And the second race of the season. Don't go anywhere. And we're out there. Drop you down a bit. Timetable. I can't believe he's just fucked that up.
Hey, you missed the Overtaker at the end. Looked like he went to lose it and throw it into the wall.
Oh.
It was after the line, but...
I reckon he's just annoyed with himself.
Yeah. Oh, it was after the line. You just catch it on the stream. You see him just veer off.
Start to wiggle, yeah. Fucking Joe's won again. Oi, I tell you now, if Dan and Joe's in a party, Joe's going to be winding Dan the fuck up.
Yeah, it's not bad from Gary though. I said he'll be up for this. He'll want this.
He says he plays darts on a Monday. I reckon he's going to stay for most of the season, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's like, oh hello.
Yeah, oh, this Janetta's quite good, isn't it? Oh, second place.
Yeah. But no, that'll be interesting.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mike. Pleasure.
Yeah, that's all right. I was going to do a bit of testing, but I don't need to here. I just need to lap, really. I'm set up for it.
Yeah.
I've just tried finding the weather for Monza. Where the hell is it on BBC Weather?
Milan, I searched.
Is it Milan?
I think Dan was saying the other day that Milan's its closest place, so I went Milan.
Monza's an actual city.
Yeah, well, I thought that.
I googled it. On Thursday, it starts to rain, and towards the weekend, it gets a bit heavier. So we could have on Sunday, a week Sunday.
Yeah.
It's 70% rain.
Oh.
So if that advances, it's a wet Monza.
All right, well, let's hope it advances.
Yeah, I'm good with that. But no, it was good. Good joining you.
No, thank you. Pleasure. If you want to do it for race one every week, mate, you're more than welcome. Join me and Jamie.
Yeah, my dear. See how my testing goes. It might be I need to use that hour.
He's seen about
Gary, can I qualify? Yes.
Yeah, have you seen about Motorbase
Not
today?
had that for a while.
No,
yeah,
what?
renamed.
What
Yeah.
they've been renamed to?
Alliance Racing.
Still partner. Napa's still the top
Napa's.
sponsor.
Yeah, Napa. It'll still be Napa Racing, but instead of it being called Motorbase Performance, it'll be called Alliance Racing. But I think they're looking at doing other things as well.
What, like GTs, you reckon?
Possibly.
Isn't One Motorsport in GTs?
No. They pulled out.
Oh.
Because they were in British GT, they stopped doing that. They were in the McLaren Artura Trophy and they pulled out. But Speedworks are now in the McLaren Artura Trophy.
Nice.
How come we put qualifying at 15 minutes, by the way, Matt?
Because I thought it was 15 minutes. It says on the rules 15 minutes.
Not for Q1.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Earlier when I went through it, I'm sure it did. Because I was going through rules to make sure the spreadsheet had points loaded.
Yeah, because the points have changed, haven't they?
Yeah, because I had to update them on spreadsheet, so when I input them, it would have worked out all right. 092.
I don't think Phil's fight to everyone went as well as he planned.
Neither do I. So he looks.
He tries, doesn't he?
He does, bless him. He turns up for. He's annoying as fuck, but he turns up to everything, bless him.
No, I'll credit to that. If I would if I could.
Smoky.
Right, that's me done. I'm gonna shoot.
No worries, bud. Take it easy.
Yeah, so at least you got the files to set the servers up.
Yeah, I just selected the AM file, not knowing you'd had. Yeah, I picked the AM one at first. That's why I thought it was wrong, and then I went back, double checked, and it was like, right, there it is.
Yeah, I thought, I better make a separate one for AM because it's different.
Yeah.
And I've just put them on day 3, so it's just an optimum track.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. 151.
Like I say, at least you can always. What I'll do apart from one Thursday because I'm out, so that'll be late. I'll set that file. I'll change each week ready, so the weather's set on it and the track is set on it.
Right, no worries,
and it's
buddy.
just that file.
Just
and
copy and paste. Yeah.
Yeah. So happy days. Right.
Cheers, bud. Take it easy.
See you later. Alright, that's
Kyle Army, race 1 result, manually input. So Fury, 11 laps. We're not doing fastest lap point, so leave that blank.
We are. Oh, no, not fastest
we're doing
lap.
pole position point, yeah. In fact, actually, yeah, so now I'm just inputting that on top. So 21, 34.
Alright, see you later, boys.
See you later, buddy. 729, save. Right, and if I went to results, load the calculator up, press that, result, Joe Bates, 1294729. No, 129 plus 3162. Back. Manually input results. Gary second, 11 laps. He did not start. He did not start. Dennis Newman 11 laps. PN 11 laps. Dan 11 laps. Shane did not start. Future Revenge 11 laps. Who did 10? It was John Andrews, wasn't it? Sutty 11. Kiss 11. Bryn 11. Smokey 11. John Andrews 10. Tibbs 11. Overtaker 11. Phil 11. Tattoo did not start. Save. What's left? 3 minutes 35. Can I input this in 3 minutes 35? Right, go. Go, go, go.
You can do it.
Results. So it's Gary. Gary, edit. So Gary is best lap, nothing. Oh, is that fucking quali? I think that's quali. Yeah, race. Race. So Gary Leach. 1297891. Update. Flush 8264. God, this is so slow to update. And go back. Dan. There. 1306155. Dennis, you 1311350. 5195. Oh, plus. So for Smoky. 1318702. Back to race. Who's after Smoky? Kiss. 1326979. Plus 6986. After Kiss was Sutty. 1 minute 17 and I'm on Sutty. 1333965. Beautiful, Jamie Brazy. Beautiful. Behind Sutty was 554. So that's Tibbs. Tibbles. Sky. 1334519. Seconds, fuck. Who's after Tibbs? Bryn. 1345582. This just updates it so fucking slow that it takes forever. 1348740. Right, I'm gonna have to get ready to talk about live. Well, actually, someone's still on a lap, so I could possibly get us done here.
Yeah, I'll take. It's overtaker.
Who's after PN? Future Revenge. Did I add his time on? Oh, I did, yeah. 1353091. Plus 536.
Right, he's coming into the final corner.
Okay, this what should update. 1353627.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Ah, no, don't go back to that race. Plus 10, 560. I'll do DJ Phil. I've got 2 drivers too, so I may as well do these 2 before we go back. 1364187. Bang. And then minus 69458 plus 28419. 1323. 1323 148. Right, 5, 4. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport here for the second qualifying of the day. And what a first race we had. Mike Matthews has left us from the commentary box. It was a pleasure to have Mike with us. It is just me and Jamie now in the box. And Jamie, that was a fascinating race one, but a race pretty much dominated from the start by Fury.
Oh yeah, I was definitely dominated by the start. And Fury didn't really have much. He had to make sure he just kept that gap to Gary, but he had it all in his own way from turn 1.
He did indeed. We're underway though for the second qualifying, and really, we're only going to see a qualifying 2 from this week out. So it's really going to be an interesting one to see the pace. Can Joe take another pole position? That podium for Joe is podium number 97 for Joe in his Simplay Motorsport career. Currently still in the pit lane, as is Dennis Newman, DJ Phil and Future Revenge. It is race win number 44 for Joe, keeps him second place. And obviously, as we know, it is Dan's 200th race start in this one today. So for an Orthodub 16, it is race number 200 here at Simplay Motorsport, and he brings up the milestone with 6 championships to his name. But he'll want a race win tonight. Jamie Brazier, race 1, not the way he would have wanted it to go.
No, he did not wanted it to go that way at all. He would have wanted to at least given Fury a bit of a fight, really. And I think he'll be quite annoyed that Fury's managed to scarper off and get one win on him already.
He will indeed. So for Dan, we know that race 2 is his 100th appearance. Fury's now 3 podiums away from his 100th podium. Overtaker had the chance to get closer to his 50th podium. And Audi, in which had 2 race starts there, so it now needs 7 race starts for its 500th race. BMW is also now, by the way, 2 race wins away from 25, so we could see that potentially this week in Smokey Devil's hands in Pro. We'll have to see what happens later in the week, and obviously if Joe or Smokey win tonight, that'll be major. But Jamie, Rex, stats are there. Joe wants to become a 4-time champion and equal himself with me. Joe's currently the 3rd most successful champion at Simplay Motorsport with 3 drivers' titles to his name, behind myself and Dan on 4 and 6. So Joe's going to want this 4th championship. He's going to want to equal myself. He's going to want to pull one closer to Dan. He wants to be the top dog, doesn't he, around here?
Yeah, Joe want to be the top dog, so we can rub Dan's nose in it constantly.
Dan has sat at the top for too long.
Yeah, he want to knock him off his perch. perch.
We need to knock him off his perch. Right, so that was race 1 done, and what a fantastic race it was. And we're not going to give too much away, but Mike was looking at the weather for next week, Jamie, and it looks a little interesting, let's say the least. But the championship standings looks like this. Fury leads the way 5 points clear of Gary because of the difference in the points. Now this season, that extra point for pole position, Fury has 5 points between him and Gary. 9 points ahead of Unorthodox as Overtaker quickly goes P1. Tibbs then goes into P2. The next car to cross the line will be Dan, who will go P2 now. Kiss will be the next one. Dennis Newman P4 is pretty much as it finished, really, apart from Tetu, Shane, and the other new driver did not confirm. Kiss goes provisional pole. KM Motorsport, PN Motorsport is coming to the line. But is on an invalid lap time, and I believe it is either 86 or 56. It is 56 of John Andrews, who's bailed from a lap. So it's Gary 131, who looks like he's going to try and get pole, who's going to go for pole position again.
Yeah, he is in. He is. Gary. I think Gary will be buoyed by that first race. He'll be thinking, "Oh, that he want to race that car."
Yeah.
Every day.
Well, he's gone P5 at the moment. Car 12 of Sooty Apex will be the next one to cross the line. Didn't see the best of Sooty maybe in race 1 as Brincross has invalidated his lap. Smoky Devil, I think, is on an invalid one as well. And Sooty already, look, he's found a bit of time. He's gone P4 straight away. But the way he's pulled off to the side there means that he's emptied the car of everything and gave it full beans. Next car on a valid lap time is Overtaker. Jamie, just talk us through a bit of qualifying while I run to get a drink for my throat.
Yeah, next car to come towards the lap, towards the end of the lap is Fury, but he is on an invalid lap time. So car 30 next, which is Overtaker, as he comes towards the final corner. Doesn't hit that sausage curb. Can he get the final corner right? It's gone a little bit deep. Can he get onto pole position? Comes towards the line, and he goes pole position with a 151.5, 2 tenths quicker than Kiss, and over 7 tenths quicker than Dan, but there's going to be some quicker times to come. Car 53, which is Kiss, is he now coming towards the line? I think Dan's just pulled off to the side, so he's not improving at the minute. 8 minutes and 30 to go. Kiss can't go any quicker. 66 with PN Motorsport in the KTM. Coming across the line, can he get a lap time? And he does, and he goes 7 tenths off Gary into P7. Next car across the line will be Gary on valid lap time. He comes towards the line. Can he improve from 3 seconds down to go right to the front? He does. He goes 5 tenths quicker, goes onto the second row of the grid. Car 5 now. Win is coming to the final corner, using a lot of curb and getting a massive slide on. Coming to the line. What can Bryn do? He goes into 7th, goes above PN Motorsport. Car 111, that is Smokey. He goes into P7 now, so dislodges Bryn. Next car is Dennis Newman, who has not set a lap time. Comes through fast left-hand, comes into the sharp braking zone. Down here, very easy to run deep. Comes towards the sausage curb. Gets a bit of a slide on.
Notice John Andrews, Jamie, hasn't come back out the pit lane yet.
No, Dennis come into the line. Where does Dennis go? He goes up to 8th place, so it's very tight in around 7th. So Tibbs, Dennis, and Smokey are all very close to that time. But at the minute, Overtaker is on pole.
Yeah, and it's Gary.
Just over 2 tenths.
It's Gary and Kiss, the two Janettas, who are very close as Kiss doesn't improve that time around. Good evening to Benedict Volga, Nexus, the Pro-Am commentator in the chat. Good evening to you. And E. McKizzle, let's go Fury, she says. Good evening, E. McKizzle in the chat, our Canadian friend, as car number 86 will be the next one to get to the line. That is DJ Phil, who is yet to set a fast lap time, but like you said, 8 tenths of a second separating Sooty to P1. Sooty looks like he's having a bit of a better qualifying session.
Yeah, DJ Phil's just gone. Gary's just gone on to pole position. Gary 131 has just gone a tenth and a half quicker than Overtaker, so he's definitely...
Wow, 25th pole for the Ginetta, 25th pole for Gary 131.
But what can man in the BMW do? Fury, what can he do? 7 tenths down. He's not going to be happy at the minute. I reckon Dan will be a bit happier. He's closer to Fury at the time, but Fury's had a massive slide as he's just come through the crocodiles.
He has indeed. He is the next man. Is he on a lap? No, he's on an invalid lap, is Fury, so no
He's
lap time for him. Kiss will be the next man to do a lap time. 5.5 minutes remaining, and I tell you what, Gary, how long has it been, Jamie, since Gary's had that chance of getting,
Oh my Christ.
that pole position, never got it, and now all of a sudden we're sat here talking about he could get it.
Christ, that's been so long ago. I think when we first talked about it, I couldn't drive, and I've now been driving for a year.
I think it's been longer, Jamie. I think it's been longer than that as well.
Yeah, it took nearly as long for me to put my tent up at Donington.
Oh, you missed that. Who was it at Donington? You missed that. That was brilliant. As Kiss comes to the line now, 3.5 tenths, doesn't improve at all. Next car to the line on a valid lap is our current pole sitter, and I tell you what, pinch me, I'm dreaming. If he's got this kind of form Thursday night in the Porsche, Jaeger Motorsport will be laughing.
Yeah, he comes into the final corner nicely onto the apex, no drifting wide. Coming towards the line, can he improve on a 151.3? Goes quicker.
Wow, so he's gone an extra tenth quicker. He's found a little bit more. Who's the next one to the line? I think it's cars behind. Dan was one. He's gone up to P4, as was DJ Phil. Next man was Brim, but he's invalidated it. The next one after him is Overtaker. Surely nobody could spoil Gary's day. I need more power, says PN.
Overtaker was 7 tenths down, so he's not going to improve. What about Fury? Let's go on board. I'm going to go on board with Fury. Is Fury... No, Fury is down on his lap time.
So he's down on his lap time. He's got a couple of corners to improve that. Overtaker comes through the final corner. Did he find 7 tenths? Max Mulder, better Tibbs is going to win this. Well, we'll have to see what Tibbs does. Overtaker, no improvement there. Here comes Fury to the line. John Andrews out on track. Still no lap time at the moment. We'll go to Tibbs in a minute for Max Mulder. Fury's gone green, but he needs 8.5 tenths of a second. The problem is how much? It is half a tenth as Tibbs, the next man on a valid lap. Dan, yellow flag. He's going again now, though. Can't really afford to put it into the pits with this late. He'll only get 1 lap.
No, he'll only get 1 lap, so you've got to go again. The next car is Tibbs.
Yeah, we're on board Tibbs at the moment, so if you go to Gary behind Tibbs is the next man.
Is Gary improving? Gary's up again.
He is linking up with this Ginetta, and
he's gone deep and lost all his time, so curse of the commentator. Right,
yeah, let's see if he can find it up in the last corner, or the cheater maybe. But Gary in a groove at the minute with this Ginetta. Fury just not had the pace in this second qualifying session. Track temp's gone down to 44 degrees, but Fury's just not had the pace. Here comes Tibbs. Any improvement for Tibbs? No, not for him. What about Gary, Jamie?
No improvement.
Overtaker's pitted.
He's only slightly down, but Gary was a tenth up at the final corner, but dropped it slightly on the curb.
Overtaker is pitted and is coming out the pit, so he will have 1 shot at this. DJ Phil, no improvement for him. He's down in P12. Next car to line will be Dennis Newman. Jamie, talk us through it.
He's half a second up. He's around half a second up, so he could put himself right up.
Right up, and he does. Top 6, Dennis Newman. Next car, valid lap. That man Sutty Apex behind. That man Fury. 8 tenths he needs to find. He's going to have 1 more chance at this after Gary has bailed.
Fury is up. I'm not going to say by how much.
Is it possible to join this championship for the rest of the season? I missed all the info about this one, but it looks fun to race. Max, yep. Oh, he's got 2.9 off the back. Here comes Sutty Apex to the line. He's 1 second off the back of the leaders. Does he improve? No, he does not. Next car is Dan, who will get 1 more lap in after this. He should do. Max Mulder, if you want to enter the GT4 Championship, just DM me a car number, And we'll sort it out. It is all independent drivers. There is no teams in this one. But if you want to get in, there is still seats available. Get yourself involved and we'll sort that one out after today.
Is Dan on a valid lap?
Dan is on a valid lap, yes.
He's up at the minute, but oh go. His time's ebbing and flowing at the minute, but it's not enough to put him up on the front.
We've had Thank You Mama for the Carrots and Ebbing and Flowing all in the first night of Simplay Motorsport back in the GT3. Yeah. Mike Matthews, go to the sign-ups on Discord, Max, and fill it out. I think it's still... there is still space. There is still space, Mike. Yep, indeed. And 50-50. Yeah, you're right. All in the same night. Who'd have thunk it? Gary in the pits, Tibbs in the pits, Bryn in the pits, PN, DJ Phil, John Andrews and Future Revenge, all in the pits. Dan went wide and he's invalidated his time. Next car on a valid lap is Kiss, who is just under half a second off the back of Gary 131. Dan will get one final run in here.
Kiss is down on his time though.
Dennis Newman has pitted. He won't get another run. Car 30 of Overtaker. We said it was tight to the line. I don't think Overtaker's timed it well enough. He is done. He will not improve on his lap time. Kiss then to the line to take pole away from Gary 131. Will not do it. What about car 111? That is Smokey Devil. 1.8 down on his time. Can Smokey take pole away from Gary? No, he can't, but goes P6. Here's Fury. Oh, he doesn't do it. Car 12, Sooty Apex, the dream of Gary's 25th pole could be happening. Sooty doesn't improve. There is one man who is 7.5 times down on Gary 131 in his 6-time champ on Orthodubs to ruin Gary's party of a 25th pole and Giannetta's 25th pole. Oh, Dan, have a heart.
Dan, go half a tenth slower in front of Fury.
If Dan finds exactly 7 tenths, Gary will still be pole and Dan will be on the front row. He's bailed! Gary gets pole! Gary gets pole! 25 pole positions for Gary 131. Do you believe in miracles? Because Gary 131, after so many races, has finally achieved his dream of 25 pole positions. That is also 25 pole positions for the Ginetta. Jamie Brazier, he sits one behind you now, but I don't think you have to worry about that unless he races in this Ginetta again.
Oh, you never know. He'll probably come back every week now. But yeah, this one's for Daz. There's definitely something in the air tonight for Gary. It's 25th pole position. What must be like? It must be over a year or more. Well, more than a year of trying.
Benedict Varga, Nexus in the chat. Gary, he says, and Mike Matthews, I said he would be pushing for this one. Nice one, Gary.
Now, can he hold on for a race win with Fury, Overtaker, Kiss, Smokey, and Dan behind him?
Right, now I've buggered this one up because I can't return to garage because I've just had to turn my mic settings down, so it booted me from the garage. Just had a message saying that my mic was crackling a little bit, so hopefully that is better. But wow, Gary 131, 25 pole positions in his trusty old Ginetta.
Yeah, in the old reliable Ginetta.
That is absolutely fantastic. About bloody time, Gary says Fury's granddad in the chat.
My next question, when was Gary's last win?
Oh. It's either got to be F1 or Project Cars.
Got to be F1.
But we're talking a while. Yeah, probably F1 because he didn't win the last couple of Project Cars seasons, did he?
No. He got an odd win here or there, but he didn't.
Right, yeah, so not only do we need a picture of the Ginetta... Well, I'll tell you what, we could just take the same picture of the Ginetta for Gary. Get Gary's Ginetta. And a lovely picture of the Ginetta getting its 25th pole position. A lovely picture of Gary getting his 25th pole position. And a lovely picture of Dan's Chevrolet Camaro. After this for our photographer or editor of the milestone bits and plover. So I'll just do a quick little thing for the TikTok on Gary here.
Evening, Plasky.
Gary 131 then, pole position for him. 25th pole here at Simplay Motorsport. And then when the camera pans around, I'll do it again for the Ginetta. Jamie, race 2 winner.
I'm gonna say Overtaker because I don't want to curse Gary. But I don't want to. I'm not trying to curse Overtaker either. But there'll always be the curse of the commentator. If I go for Gary, he'll drop it at turn 1.
Just to say, by the way, it's the same top 4 as it was in race 1.
Yeah.
So
And no Dan.
Yeah, no Dan in the top 4 both times. So incredible scenes. We'll wait again for the Ginetta to come back around so I can just do its little bit. I'm gonna go Fury. I think Fury's, good race pace in race 1. I think Fury could be the man to do this one.
Yeah. I think he'll probably have too much for Gary, but I think the dream would be to see Gary take a win in a Ginetta.
Massively, massively.
But if anything like this, if he's anything like this over the rest of the season, Donington Park, he'll be away and gone by the time they get to Hollywood.
Let's just hope they can be like this for the season. Right. Ginetta's 25th pole position here at Simplay and the manufacturers. And what a job it was by Gary 131. And that is the work done for the TikTok. When I come to edit this video and I'll get ready to do the bits for the TikTok, that is that work done. You see there, Jamie? Couple of birds, one stone, bosh. Gary's also on 88 podiums as well now. He's got one today. Dan's up to 133. 25 pole. One behind you now, Jamie, on pole positions.
Yeah.
I'd
Needs
say
to do another F1 so I can get more pole positions.
I'd say he's going to catch you, but if he doesn't race this Ginetta again, I don't think he will. Yeah, I'm only on 16 pole positions. I don't get pole position a lot. Right, they're coming towards the final couple of corners. Wow, does Gary even remember how to lead at the start? He had a few reverse grid race practices last year, Mike, when he got to lead from the start then. I text Gary, yes, boy, come on, let's get a win on ACC. I think he's actually falling in love with it. Gary, to the final corner with Fury now, Jamie, and for the final time tonight, race 2 of the season, round 2 of the season, before the GT4s get packed into their trucks and shipped over to Monza. We are about to go green and go here. The race start is initialised.
We're away.
And we are green and go here for the second race of the season. It's a good start in the background by Dan. Fury already going side by side with Gary towards turn 1. Fury and Gary side by side. That BMW just has the grunt in a straight line. Big pack in the front of the field. Gary tries to hang it around the outside of Fury. Can he get the job done for turn 2? Joe's got to realise he's still there. Gary to that inside just bounces off the curb a little bit. Now Joe bounces off the curb a little bit and Joe takes the lead. Dan's already moved up into P3 from P5. So a good start from him. Overtaker, he's dropped down to 4th. Kiss down to 5th. Smoky Devil 6th place as well. And Tibbs and Dennis Newman going side by side where they had the incident last time. Tibbs and Dennis Newman side by side all through relatively cleanly. Bryn side by side with Sutty. Looks like he's got the job there as well. PN ahead of DJ Phil with John Andrews and Future Revenge bringing up the rear. But it all looks pretty clean at the moment.
Yeah, Gary is giving Fury a real work over a Smoky. Smoky nearly... Dan nearly up on 2 wheels there.
Gary really putting that BMW under pressure through the middle sector of this lap. Towards the hairpin they come. Gary's even giving Fury a flash of the lights. Fury goes defensive. Gary goes to the outside. Fury brakes so early to get it stopped on the corner. Did Gary tap him? Fury has a big slide. Gary stays a little wide. Fury's had a wiggle. Gary jinks right. Dan's down there as well. They're 3, nearly 4 abreast. Gary stays behind Fury. Overtaker's coming through now as well. And here comes Dan. Fury's widened on the gravel. Dan's had a wiggle. And I think Overtaker's off as well. Here comes Kiss, and Gary leads the race at first lap. Does he? No, because Kiss is coming. Yes, he does. Dan is off in the background.
Smoky and Overtaker are off as well. It's carnage.
Jamie Brazier, what has happened there? But Gary leads this race.
There was another car off as well. It was Sutty Apex. He was off as well. Dan gets going, but they're all going to have massive damage.
Oh, Overtaker's caught. Look at that bonnet. Pit lane is open. Pit window is not. As Overtaker comes in, he needs that fixed straight away. Dan does as... No, Dan's not pitted, sorry. I thought he did. Dan hasn't pitted. So it is Gary. Fury's looking up the inside of Kiss. Sends it a little deep. And contact made, says Jamie. We missed that one. But my, oh my, was that fantastic to see.
Yeah. Utter carnage.
Kiss very wide. Fury now has to chase down Gary. Crazy, says Ian McKizzle and Benedict. Let's go Sanyika. Vot Benedict. Tell me if I've said that right. Sanyika.
Dave's just looking up the inside of Bryn into the long right-hander, but thought better of it.
Yeah, Smoky Devil behind PM Motorsport. He's going to look up the inside of PM Motorsport now, and Smoky Devil, job done there. Easy as you like.
But Bryn's had a cracking start, even though there's been all the carnage. He's up into 5th place.
Now, one thing I want to note here, Jamie, is did Overtaker hit the back of Dan when Fury went off? Because all of a sudden Dan and Overtaker started spinning. Was there contact between Dan and Overtaker?
There was contact coming out of the first part of the Crocodiles.
So I'm wondering if that's what caused a bit of a train of events.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Not sure if anyone came across it. Oh, Bryn sliding through that very corner. But yeah, it looked like there was just a bit of. I think they were probably just leaning on each other, and then. Yeah, it came across. Now Overtaker's going to go a lap down. He
is already. Benedict Volga, Shanyika. Shanyika. He says pronounce the S as a sh, so Shanyika. That's what we're going with. Bryn, though, under pressure from Tibbs. We saw Tibbs had good pace in the first race, coming back through the field. He's got no damage. Bryn up to P5. And Shanyika running P3 on his debut at the moment. The Hungarian drivers. We've got 2 Hungarian drivers now, but Fury's coming to put some pressure on Gary here, Jamie.
Yeah, he is, and I don't think Fury's going to want to wait. Well, we know Fury. He won't wait long to get past Gary. Bryn's struggling against Tibbs. Tibbs is looking every way to get past that second Murray. He's going to look down the inside, so right-hander, not a place to overtake. Backs off once again.
Yeah, Tibbs just can't seem to get that final grunt to get through. Dennis Newman catching on the back of Kiss as Fury has a bit of a wiggle coming out the corner there.
But Bryn gone wide. This could be Tibbs' chance. He's had a bit of a wiggle as well. Here comes the black Camaro. Bryn's going to run it wide. He's going to run onto the grass.
Yeah, and he's going to have the inside line for the next bit. Side by side. This is great racing. Smoky Devil's getting involved now. Keep your nose out the side of these 2 Chevrolets, although he's going to go up the inside of Bryn as he brakes late. Bryn brakes a lot later than Tibbs here, manages to get back in front. Who gets the better exit? I tell you what, Bryn's done well around the outside there. He's still hanging it there. Oh, cuts through the gap of Smoky and Tibbs. And Bryn now up the inside, but will be the outside for the Crocodiles. They pushes Tibbs a little wide. They break into the Crocodiles. Bryn's trying to look up the inside. Smoky's going around the outside of the pair of him. Smoky very wide. Tibbs slightly wide. Bryn just couldn't get the run, and I think you're best off backing out of that one into the cheetah. As he 2 wheels, not kill-esque from Bryn there. That was dead good stuff.
And he launches it up the inside.
Good move. Good move.
Yeah, good move. PN is now getting onto the back of this as well. I'm pretty sure he's got a bucket of popcorn to watch the carnage unfold.
PN loves watching, and I'm sure he'll be enjoying the view of that carnage kicking off. Kiss and Dennis redoing their battle from race 1, going at it for 3rd and 4th at the moment. So your running order after on lap 3 is Gary from Fury. Kiss is running P4 with Dennis Newman in P5. We'll go to P4, sorry, Kiss is P3, Dennis is P4. We'll go to Bryn in a moment when the camera will pan around. Bryn is P5 from Tibbs 6th, Smokey 7th with PM Motorsport in 8th. We await for DJ Phil, who's not 9th now, it's Dan who's 9th. DJ Phil is now 10th. Future Revenge is running in that 11th place. We're just going to let John Andrews come up the hill so the cameraman able to find him. There he is, P12 at the moment for John Andrews. It is Sutty who is P13, bit of damage to his car, and Overtaker the cameraman hasn't picked up yet. A lap down to the entire field, bar Sutty Apex in P14 place. Closest fight on the field though at the minute is that one of Bryn and Tibbs.
Yeah, watching from the back of Bryn, watching from the back of Bryn's car. Tibbs goes right, he's leaving a bit of room. He's going to try around the outside. That BMW could be lurking in the background. He now goes for the cut back at the hairpin. Bitburn going to get a better run. He has a slide.
He has a bit of a slide there, but Bryn looks like he's got a decent run coming downhill. It looks like Bryn's Chevrolet is set up for a bit more straight line speed than Tibbs's.
Yeah. Oh, he touches the grass there though. Is he going to? Yeah, he's going to go sailing on, and thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Tibbs goes sailing through.
Tibbs goes through. Smoky Devil does not though. So Tibbs through on Bryn, who went a little deep at the hairpick on. I tell you what, he has got that curb down to a T through the cheetah. And look who's coming in the background. It is Unorthodox, who is on a mission. He's on a prowl to the front of the pack here to get this one done. So Tibbs up to 5th, Bryn down to 6th. Smoky Devil will now be hassling the back of Bryn. Bryn can take confidence though from this. Dennis Newman on Discord said good battle from Bryn there, and in race 1, and Bryn's had a good fight here in race 2 already with Tibbs, so he could take positives, but Dan is now charging on Pien.
Yeah, he's gone sailing on again. And Smoky looking around the outside, he's back getting inside.
Big slide from Bryn, Smoky through, and
Smoky being opportunistic, and Dan has just got through on PN. So
yeah.
So Unorthodox is going to be on
it's P8.
Bryn in a minute.
He's P8. Bryn's still on the back of Smoky Devil here, though. Noticing as well, Jamie, we've had 10 minutes of this race nearly. Track temp down to 42 degrees, so it is tumbling down at the minute. So them tyres that Mike was saying in race 1, you know, they may struggle in race 2 with that 45-minute race. Overtake's already used another set of tyres, so he should be a bit more fine. But the track temp's coming down, so it's not going to hurt the tyres as much at the moment as we go later into this day.
No, it's not going to hurt it too bad. I'm pretty sure there were people who got punches at Brands Hatch.
Yep.
In the GT4s. One of them was overtaken, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 punches on his Maserati, wasn't it? Yeah.
Dan hasn't closed up on Bryn as quickly as I thought.
No, he hasn't. Bryn's actually was sticking to the back of Smoky Devil quite well.
Well, Smoky Devil's closing up on Tibbs. And he's bringing Bryn back with him. Bryn launched himself. He's launched himself too hard that time.
Yeah, done a bit too much, but Dan looks like he went off as well. PN's 9th, Phil's 10th. Phil's got Future Revenge gaining on him here. Drop back to DJ Phil and Future Revenge for a bit of a battle for them.
Yeah, Dan's now starting to close up. He was a second and a half quicker that last lap, so I imagine he'll be on the back of Bryn in no time. As Smoky Devil is now, Smoky's now going to be starting to hound the back of Tibbs. Bryn runs wide, and a fellow pink purple Camaro will be up with him.
Yeah, he will indeed. Mike in the chat, some great awareness during this racing tonight. Super T. There's not been a lot of carnage in terms of big incidents. It's been great awareness. The KTM still looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, says Benedict Varga in the chat. As Tibbs runs a little wider than Smoky. Smoky having a look up the inside. No, thinks better of it and doesn't get the job done at the moment. And in the background, while these two are fighting, Bryn's going to be getting closer and he's just pulling Dan along. 3 Camaros, 1 BMW, America versus Germany. What can go wrong?
Yeah. Oh, Bryn's had a massive slide there.
And don't forget, during all of this, the pit window will be open. I believe the pit window is now 15 minutes long, not 10 minutes. So the pit window will be open, Jamie, a bit earlier in this race.
Oh, Bryn's gone deep again, and Dan, thank you very much. Straight through.
Yeah, but this could be good for Bryn now. Watch Dan's lines, watch where he breaks, follow Dan through.
Smoky, is he going to have a look into the crocodiles? He's looking. Tibbs gives him room.
Yeah, Tibbs gives him
run side by
a lot. Oh, contact made. Tibbs and Smoky Devil. It looked like Tibbs just had a wiggle off the exit curb there.
Yeah, but Smoky backed right out of it, so he didn't turn Tibbs right the way across him. Is this BMW now going to power past that Camaro down in the straight line? Tibbs in that Camaro just screams the American national anthem and hearing an eagle. He's having a look down the turn 1. Comes across. Oh, is he going to... Oh, good move there from Smoky Devil.
Great move from Smoky Devil, moves himself up into P5. Then out front, it's still Gary, 1.2 ahead of Fury. Fury starting to close on Gary now, but you feel Gary's Ginetta may look after its tyres a bit better than Fury's BM, especially while Fury's sliding the rear end around like that a little bit. Back down to DJ Phil and Future Revenge here. Future Revenge within 1.2 of DJ Phil, Jamie. Pit window is 20 minutes long, apologies, so it's back to 20 minutes long, so that will open. 45-minute race, halfway through 45 minutes, about 27 minutes. I think it'll open for 20 minutes. So it might open a bit earlier, actually, as well.
Yeah, it might well do. There we go, pit window's open now.
There we go. Pit window opens now. So that's good to know that from 32 minutes for 20 minutes, so that'll be down to 12 minutes. The pit window will be open. So that is great to see. The question is, as Gary's gained more time over Fury here, a lot more time over Fury, will the leaders box? Or the track temps come down to 41 degrees now. Will they keep it going now? In the track... Oh, Gary sliding through the cheat there. Gary stays out. Fury stays out. Kiss has an opportunity to do something here. He is going to stay out. Dennis Newman stays out. Smoky Devil, who's pulled away from Tibbs a little bit now. Jamie in this fight. Chevrolet 6, 7 and 8 at the minute. Will Smoky Devil be the first one in? Overtaker. Lap down. 2 laps down. Sorry, he's a lap down until he crosses line. What would he do here? Box early, give yourself as much run in as possible to get to the end, and
just in case anything happens.
Well, DJ Phil and Future Revenge. This is the closest fight on track. DJ Phil looked about pitting, then darts across the circuit here. And Ginetta 1 and 3. Future Revenge clearly has a good car underneath him today. Can he get past the Audi of DJ Phil down the straight? Phil twitches right once.
Yeah, he's just trying to break the slipstream. He's not twitching all over the place. Future Revenge goes to the inside, but he's going to be a bit too far back. But I think Phil's now about to outbrake himself.
Yeah, day late, dollar short. He's kept it within the limits, and Future Revenge couldn't capitalise as John Andrews and Sooty Apex pit. Overtaker stays out. Bryn's dropped it. That's coming up the hill. Yeah. Oh, and he moves across the track to get out the way of Future Revenge and DJ Phil. So Bryn's got work to do now to get back ahead of these two, because he's only lost out to Future Revenge, DJ Phil and PM Motorsport.
Yeah, but Bryn's gone wide again, so has he cooked his tyre?
Oh, Smokey's had a moment as well, because Tibbs is back in front.
And on the back of Future Revenge and DJ Phil, not far, is the car that's a lap down, Overtaker. Yeah,
chance to unlap himself. Sooty had damage, so will Sooty repair his damage in the pit lane? Gary stays out, as does Fury. What does... I forgot how to pronounce his name already. Shinikia. He stays out. Dennis stays out. Tibbs, he's the next one to come into the pits. He's got Smokey with him. He's got Dan with Smokey. Smokey's actually gapped Dan since Smokey's made a mistake. John Andrews out the pits. Sooty Apex coming out the pits. What we woeing at?
Oh, DJ Phil's just gone straight into another country. He's just tapped the tyre barrier. I was actually kind of doing it. Future Revenge because he'd gone off. DJ Phil stays right the way, and Overtaker comes past, he comes straight into the pit, as does Bryn.
Yeah, Bryn and DJ Phil into the pits, and nice and slowly Future Revenge stays out. Overtaker stays out as well. Where's John Andrews and Sooty Apex? Oh, interesting. John Andrews is ahead of Fury, and Fury's trying to lap him mid-corner there, and Fury's now through. That's going to have cost him a bit more time to Gary 131, so Fury's lost time again to Gary 131. Bryn and DJ Phil in the pits. Overtaker was about to unlap himself from them, so he's now got to push on. But Overtaker has a pit stop to make himself, let's not forget. He's probably just going as far into this pit window as he can. But it is Gary who leads on lap 8 from Fury. Shinikia in P3. Dennis 4th. Tibbs 5th. But it's Tibbs, Smokey, Dan. What a battle this is turning out to be.
Yeah, Tibbs made a mistake. I think Smokey had a bit of a mistake as well. And as allowed Dan just to cruise a bit further up. But Smokey edging closer onto the back.
Edging closer onto the back and taking on Orthodubs with him. Hypertech, go on Tibbs, get that podium, he says. He's a little off the podium at the minute as the drivers come through. Gary doesn't pit, neither does Fury. Shinikia doesn't pit neither. What about Dennis? He stays out. And then it is back to this fight of Tibbs, Smoky Devil and Dan. And Smokey's BMW looks really strong over these Camaros. The Camaros look like they're struggling.
Yeah, they do. They do look like they're struggling. I think possibly the Camaro drivers are having to look after their tyres a bit more because longer race Smokey constantly jump over it.
Down the corner. Yeah, down the start straight they come. Also, PN stays out. Future Revenge will possibly stay out. Tibbs has managed to gap Smokey a little bit, though, through the final corner, Jamie. And Dan, P7 at the moment, losing big points out to Fury. And Gary in as a reserve tonight. I'm sure if he could do the whole season, he would, because he's got a 4.5 second gap to Fury at the minute. Bryn on the back of John Andrews further down the pack. So John Andrews jumped Bryn. And Sooty Apex not a million miles away from these two either. They've got Dennis Newman coming to lap them. And DJ Phil is just ahead of John Andrews as well.
Yeah, Smokey getting ever closer to the back of that Camaro.
Bryn moves out the way of Dennis Newman to be lapped. And you're right, Smokey is getting ever so close to that car, and he's not really taking down with him.
Yeah, he is literally on the back of it. He's more or less pushing Tibbs along.
What do we think to Fury at the moment? 5.4 now behind Gary. He's lost another 9 tenths. We saw Gary at the end of the race start to gain on Fury. Do we think that BMW, it's been 20 minutes in this race, do we think its tyres have started to go?
Possibly. It could well have done. It all depends on what is Smokey's lap time for Tumblr. I mean, Smokey's made a mistake.
Yeah.
He made a mistake earlier. So could that be that? They can always have a lunge into the crocodiles.
He's got that stopped. Absolutely perfect. Tibbs, though, gets the switch back.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to get that one done because Smokey Devil straight line speed gets him to pull in front of Tibbs, and Smokey Devil now moves into P5. Does anybody think of pitting? None of these three are pitting. Tibbs has now got the 6-time champ of unorthodox coming behind him. Tibbs looks like he's got a bit of damage, a bit of scuffed bodywork on his car. Did he just tap the rear of Smokey? Smokey has a huge moment. Tibbs goes through. Dan's going to get through as well, and now Dan up a place and Smokey back down too.
Yeah, say that Camaro just had such good traction as Dan has a look. Tibbs sees him coming. That was a bit of a.
It was a lunge.
Yeah, that was a lunge. But Smokey's.
Oh! And Daz turns in. Tibbs' front end was still there. Dan's turn in has been collected by Tibbs. He spins it round now. Smokey's got the 2 places back. Where's PN?
Yeah.
PN could be coming through. Is Tibbs waiting for Dan? PN's had to go very wide as Dan, a slow recovering Dan, was coming back through on going off the track, should I say?
If I was Tibbs, I probably wouldn't give that position back because I don't think that was really.
There was a nose
really
there.
His fault.
There was a nose there. Was there enough of a nose for him to keep it stuck there? That's what will be asked, won't it, if it goes to the steward's room?
Yeah, that is what will be asked.
Overtaken now, 26 seconds off the back of Sooty Apex. Bryn's got past John Andrews. He's trying to hunt down DJ Phil as Sooty's trying to get on the back of John Andrews. Overtaker's still got to pit though. The top guys, Gary stays out, 5.7 clear of Joe. So again, he's extended that gap. What is Joe's gap to Gary now? 6.6. So Joe's struggling at the moment, Jamie.
He is, or is that him managing the gap, knowing that there's further races to come in the season that he doesn't need to push now?
Potentially so. DJ Phil down the start straight. He's got Bryn really gaining on him. 1.2 is the gap. Smokey Devil has decided to come into the pits. I'm not surprised there. Tibbs comes into the pits as well. It won't surprise me if Dan boxes. He doesn't. Dan stays out, clearly going for that clear air. And PM Motorsport comes into the pits as well. Future Revenge, what will he do? I think Overtake has carried on. Yes, he has. So he's unlapped himself from all of these guys. And Future Revenge carries on as well. But Jamie, like you say, for Joe though, he's not had that pace he had in race 1. Not been electric.
No, he's not been electric. I'm just looking back at the Tibbs and Dan incident. That kind of looks a bit, with the pun, 50-50 to me.
Bryn gaining on the back of DJ Phil. 23 minutes left in this race. To say there's only 14 cars on the grid, it has been an action-packed night of racing here. It's been fantastic, these GT4s I have to watch. We go to a smaller track of Monza next week.
Yeah, when we go, and there's some more high power, but this track's very high powered anyway, but that is pretty much on the throttle for most of the lap.
DJ Phil a little squirrely out the hairpin there as they come down towards the cheaters now. He's got Bryn's Camaro coming at him, and Bryn's had pace, and like Mike said earlier, Bryn is one that you have to watch for climbing up the grid at times and climbing up the rankings because he is capable of doing it. Looks up the inside, thinks of a send it manoeuvre. DJ Phil has gone very, very wide. Little wiggle from both on exit. Bryn now looks at the cheater. This will be a brave move from Bryn, but his car rides the curb very well. It does it once again there. As Kiss is in the pits.
He had a lunge, and Bryn had a lunge into the final corner.
He had a big lunge. Kiss and Dennis into the pits, and Bryn now really looking racy over these two. Smokey Devil and Pien was close together out the pits, but Bryn now looking up the inside towards turn 1 on DJ Phil. It looks like he's going to have the move done, but as they hit the brakes into turn 1, Bryn up into P10 over DJ Phil. Goes a little deep. Phil's going to get the switchback inside line for Bryn, though. Not going to work.
No, so he thought DJ Phil might have got more of a run, but he didn't quite, and Bryn's able to gain another position and get further up the grid. You got Sutty literally right in the background now.
4.8 seconds behind DJ Phil. We'll see what it is over the timing screen. It's actually down to 3.6, so he's charging. Gary still 6.7 clear of Fury. Dan P3, Future Revenge in 4th with Kiss P5. Dennis coming out the pits in P6 at the moment, just behind Future Revenge. Tibbs is 7th, nowhere near them. Smokey's in 8th, 4 seconds off the back of Tibbs. Pien's 2 seconds behind him. There's Gary 131 who's coming to lap Pien. Gary's yet to pit. Bryn ahead of DJ Phil. Such Apex charging onto the back of them. The question now is, Jamie, 8 minutes left of the pit window. When does Gary pit? When does Fury pit?
Yeah, are they going to go right to the end of the pit window and risk it? Dan hasn't come in yet either, has he?
No, Dan's not pitted yet either, so Dan's not come into the pits. Neither's Future Revenge or Overtake, so Gary stays out. Fury is going to stay out as well. Dan's a little further back than these two, so we're not going to see what Dan's going to do at the moment. Overtaker is then the car behind Dan, who is trying to hunt down Sooty Apex. Sooty Apex, by the way, has really brought that gap down to Phil. Phil's not lost out to Bryn massively, but the gap Sooty to Phil has come down a big amount here. Oh, squarely on the exit there for Sooty.
Yeah, it's not come down a lot. 55.9 from Bryn, 57.9 and a 53.7 from Sutty. So Sutty's definitely got some good race pace.
Dan, just a heads up, stays out on track. We'll go back to Future Revenge in a minute. Sooty's not close enough to Phil to do anything, but if Phil goes deep like that and goes very wide like that, Overtaker has now decided to come into the pits. That's going to put Sooty closer. Future Revenge, is he going to box? Yes, he is. Into the pits comes Future Revenge now then, so it's just the top 3 left to pit. But there's a battle raging on here. DJ Phil versus Sooty Apex. This for 10th and 11th. For 11th and 12th on the track, and Sooty Apex into Sunrise, having a look.
Yeah, he has a look. Phil's going to run it wide. There's contact.
Yeah, Sooty lunges up the inside. Oh, that's a wall.
Oh, that's a wall. He's clobbed the wall, but he's managed to continue.
Yeah, and he doesn't look like he's got a lot of damage there. Car doesn't look too bad. Bonnet's not lifted. Future Revenge and Overtaker in the pits. So
there's a fair bit of damage on his rear bumper.
Oh, is it the rear? That's why then. Nothing from the front. Oh, he's all over the place at the minute. Is Sooty.
Yeah. That might have knocked the track out a little.
Yeah, he's going to have to get them tyres under control as well. They may have warmed up a little bit. Gary's lap PN. He now comes round the final corner. He stays out once again. Joe, with 6.5 minutes left of the pit window. He is going to box. Overtaker is out of the pits and away. What will Unorthodox do? He's nowhere near yet. Right, so where is John Andrews on track? He's coming down towards the cheaters. And Overtaker is at turn 1. But Overtaker's got the pace. He can unlap himself from Tibbs. Tibbs not getting involved in that fight. The question for Dan is now, when does he box?
When does...
If you look at the track map, he's got car 56. That is John Andrews just ahead. And then he's got Sutty and DJ Phil. Sutty's in the pits. Right, so Overtaker a chance to not finish last now then. Is Dan boxing? No. While Dan's clearly got some clear air, he is going to stay out. Smoky Devil, on the other hand, by the way, back on the rear end of Tibbs once again, Jamie.
Yep, he's back there again. So Smoky must have had another mistake somewhere.
No, he had a poor pit stop. He was way behind Tibbs after the pits. So
they've
Smoky,
they've got Overtaker just ahead as well.
So Smoky at the minute trying to do everything he can to get where he needs to.
Yeah, is he going to have a look into the crocodiles? He does with us. Oh, but Tibbs has run wide. And Smokey needs no second invitation, straight up the inside.
Straight up the inside. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Overtaker will get Sutty Apex done now. If Sutty's wise here, he'd have turned his tyre change off and just repaired damage. Smokey Devil's got through, though, but Tibbs is still there. So Tibbs, a chance to come back at Smokey.
But that BMW should have enough in the straight line. There was a car in. It's a race leader that's into the pit lane.
Race leader into the pits, and he's come in for his stop. And Gary 131 will now be able to get his job done. Where is Fury on the track? Fury is coming up towards the hairpin of Liu Coop. And Gary in the pits. Does Dan think of pitting? He's coming down towards the crocodile now. Difficult to say what Dan can do. Overtaker's got ahead of John Andrews. Sutty's out the pits as well. So where is John Andrews on track? Just gone through the crocodiles. Overtaker is...
Dan continues.
Yeah, Overtaker's about a sector behind John Andrews at the moment. So
Gary's on his way.
Yep, and Fury's going through the cheetah. Over the curb. When is Gary off the limiter? Now. Fury's only just braked into the final corner. So I think Gary's gapped Fury more than what Fury needed there.
Yeah, but he's fallen behind John Andrews.
Well, John Andrews will be getting the blue flags. Stays very wide. Yep, John Andrews didn't even attempt to turn in there. I think he saw the blue flag, realised Gary was exiting the pit lane, and did the right thing. Gary, 13 seconds ahead of Joe, so he's almost doubled his time to Fury.
And Smokey's done...
And Gary's not a million miles away, by the way, from Dan. The gap is 5.1 seconds. Dan's the last one to pit. Dan's got to pit this lap or the next lap. Otherwise, that'll be it. Fury content with P2, maybe. The gap come down to 8 seconds with Gary obviously having to get his tyres up to pressure.
I think he's going to have to be content because he doesn't want to push and drop.
Yeah. He's got P2 pretty covered, hasn't he? He's 7.7 clear of Kiss. Who's got 4.9 to Dennis.
Yeah.
It's about keeping this consistent and on the track.
Yeah. It's shown that Fury has definitely matured in his driving.
Early on in a championship, read the race.
He shows that he's not just going for race wins.
So then, as John Andrews comes to the second time in sector, Overtaker is bang on one sector behind John Andrews. So, difficult for the Overtaker to maybe gain up another place in the last 14 minutes. Dan now, boxers. Oh, I tell you what, I think that's the right call, because I don't think Dan would have squeezed another lap in there.
No, he wouldn't.
Although you only have to be in the pits before the pit limiter, before the timing screen runs out. So Gary goes through. Fury will come through now as well on Dan. Fury's got to lap John Andrews here as well, so hopefully John Andrews gets out of Fury's way on the straight. This will be the best thing for Fury. Fury's gap to Gary, 7.7. Fury has passed Dan. Kiss will get past Dan. There he goes. Dennis Newman will get past Dan. There he goes. Now don't forget, Dan was in a fight with Smoky Devil Tibbs before the pit stops. They're only coming to the crocodile. So you keep your eyes on Unorthodox. We'll watch Smoky Devil come through the crocodile now.
I'll tell you when.
As car 66, that is PN Motorsport, who's had a moment at the top of the hairpin, and he's facing in the wall.
Right, Dan's away.
Dan's rolling. Smoky Devil's at the final corner. Dan is off his limiters. As the camera pans out, will we see Smoky Devil? We're on board Dan at the moment.
No, he's not. Smoky.
No, he's not. He's even stayed ahead of Overtaker as well. As PN... Oh, PN is stationary.
Well, is Dan now going to let Overtaker through? If I was Dan, I'd let Overtaker go, knowing that Overtaker's got his tyres up to temperature.
Yeah. The thing for me is Dan wanting to let the Overtaker go, or is he wanting to use the Overtaker as his buffer?
The only problem is...
PN is now back on the move, by the way. He's lost out to Future Revenge, Bryn and DJ Phil in this one already.
Yeah, someone's just run very wide at the Crocodile. I'm not sure who it was, but there's 3 cars in a line. But yeah, if I was Dan, I'd let Overtaker go, because we know what Overtaker's like. He's not someone who's gonna. He wouldn't.
PN's in the pits, Jamie. Sorry, apologies. PN is in the pits, so a chance now for Overtaker maybe to get ahead. John Andrews has had a moment at the final corner, so a chance for Overtaker and Sutty to gain some more points. Not sure what happened to PN, but in the pits he comes. Hypertech in the chat. I hope you're ready. Oh, that gave me a fright there. Did you unplug your headset? We've lost Jamie a moment, but something happened there. Hypertech in the chat. I hope you're ready for your first night of stewarding. Get ready for the tickets to rolling tonight. I think we're trying to get Jamie back. I think he's having a problem headset-wise. His end. Smokey 1.9 to Dan. Dan has still got Overtaker.
Yeah.
Right up his chuff as Overtaker has got past PN. Will Sutty now get past PN? Yes.
Yeah, as I was saying, and this is what I was trying to explain. You should have let Overtaker behind him down the straight, because Overtaker's just going to put pressure on him and make him run wide.
And he has done, and that's going to allow Smoky Devil to now catch back up. But Overtaker, is he now adhering? Is Overtaker adhering to the blue flags and letting Dan back through? If so, this is really hampering Dan's race here, and Smoky Devil's coming at the moment. So Overtaker's pressured Dan, clearly has a bit more pace than Dan at this stage in the race, but has now let Dan back through, and now has got to adhere to the blue flags of Smoky Devil coming at him.
Yeah, so Overtaker's in a bit of a peculiar position, because he always just had a massive wiggle coming through there, because he knows he's quicker than the 2 drivers around him. Yeah. But obviously he's got to abide by blue flags.
He's let Smokey go. Yeah, he's let Smokey go. So he's let Smokey now try and challenge Dan. 1.1 is the gap. Also, just to note, after John Andrews' spin, Overtaker is now within the same sector as John Andrews. Sutty's only 18 seconds behind Overtaker. Overtaker is now 20.1 behind John Andrews. So can he gain that in this race? Other noticeable people catching is Bryn trying to hunt down Future Revenge, who's running in a good 8th. But Gary, 7.3 ahead of Fury, you have to say, has controlled the race.
Yeah, I don't really want to say anything just yet, because you never know what can happen in motorsport.
You never know, indeed. Right, don't forget, we haven't said it yet, but because it's been such a good night of GT4s. Coming up this week, GT3 action. The amateur class gets going tonight. Hopefully 9 drivers on the track. Bit of a short grid at the moment. We're hoping to fill it. Tomorrow night is the amateur class around Kyle Army. Some interesting drivers in there. Anybody could take that championship. Pro-Am on Wednesday night. We'll be live at 8 p.m. GMT for that one as well. It will be myself and Fury tomorrow. It will be myself and Benedict Varga on Wednesday, before PN and Dan on Thursday night hit the Pro Series as well. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you like what you see here, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when we are live. Jamie, GT4s, we didn't know what it was going to be with a bit of a short grid, but it has been a success.
Yeah, it has been a very, very good success. Good racing, and I'll say the next thing I'm going to say in probably about 9 minutes' time. Yeah.
When the race ends, you'll have to get... We'll leave Kiss for now, because I don't know if Kiss's settings are right. I'll have to message him to make sure his settings are fine. But we'll have to get Dan, Fury and Gary and Stang on a podium in race 1 and get them in for a chat. Hopefully at the end of this. Smokey not really gaining on Dan at the moment. Dan just starting to keep and maintain that gap.
Well,
That
Dan-
BMW seems to go well at the start, but seems to run out at the end on these long races.
Yeah, it definitely does. Just watching the gap, Dennis Newman to Kiss to see, because he's only four and a half back from him.
Yeah, he is indeed. Bryn's lost a bit of time to Future Revenge, and Overtaker's got the gap down to 12 seconds to John Andrews now. John Andrews has just crossed the line. Overtaker's coming out the final corner, so this will be good for Overtaker. He's got to follow, and the bonus for Overtaker as well is John Andrews. Not only is Overtaker 10 seconds behind John Andrews now, but he's got 2 cars in front of him. That's going to make John Andrews slow down because he's got to abide by blue flags.
Yeah, he has. The gap between Gary and Fury has come down slightly. I think just want to check to see whether Gary's made a mistake.
5.9. So we'll keep our eyes on that gap. Is Fury's BM just come back to him?
He's made a mistake. I think Gary's made a mistake somewhere this
Right. It's 5.7 now, so we'll keep our eyes on that. John Andrews at the minute, P11. Overtaker. That gap's now down to 9.9 seconds. Where's Smokey Devil? Smokey Devil's made a mistake. He's 6 seconds off the back of Dan, and he's no longer ahead of Overtaker. So
I was then actually about to have a look on No Track Map to see what our closest battle was, and I thought it's Dan and Smokey Devil, but no, Smokey Devil's since departed from the back of the Camaro.
So Gary crosses the line. 5.7 was the gap. Stays at 5.7. Kiss and Dennis, 4.7 between them two. Dan's P5. No man's land really is Dan. Smokey Devil trying to catch Dan, but now defend from Tibbs. He's made a couple of mistakes. Bryn starts to bring that gap back down to Future Revenge. DJ Phil 25 seconds behind them. He's being lapped by Kiss in a few moments' time. Shanika. However, yeah, we'll get used to his name throughout the season, especially when Nexus is in comms on Tuesday. Overtaker to John Andrews now, 6.6 seconds. So he's coming. He's got to go a second a lap, Jamie, to catch John Andrews.
But Overtaker's that sort of person who can do that.
He is. He is the kind of person that can do that, indeed. Just a note, by the way, the KTM now has more appearances than the Cadillac. Never got used on Project Cars 2 with 1 appearance to its name. So there you go.
Yeah, Overtaker's got the gap down to 4.6 now. Because John Andrews, I think, has had to let a car through. He's got Dan right behind him.
Yep, so he's got to let Dan go in a moment's time. So John Andrews here will have to start to let the lead cars unlap themselves. Will not be McLaren's 50th pole position tonight, that's gone. But it could be Giannetta's 8th win, putting him closer to the back of the Ferrari. John Andrews now. You see Overtaker in the background, there he is. As Bryn's got the gap down to Future Revenge, 7.4 seconds. That is going to be tough in the next 4 minutes. But if he's going to try, I'm sure Bryn's going to try and get that extra place. Dennis's gap has gone back up to Kiss, and Fury has only gained a couple of hundredths over Gary. So Gary's mistake looks like he's rectified it. Overtaker to the outside of John Andrews. Is it job done? Not just yet. John Andrews a little wiggle now. It is job done now, and Overtaker will get that spot. It is P11. Good comeback drive to say where he was at the end of the first lap.
Yeah, definitely up to P11 now, and hope, got to say, next week he'll be at the front of the grid for race 1.
He will be at the front of the grid for race 1, and that'll be crucial for him to get some points on the board. Here comes Bryn, then we're on board with at the moment. Who is he's had a good, the Chevy hasn't looked the strongest car tonight, let's be honest.
No, but I think more than what we've seen in the GT3s, each track is going to be quite car dependent. Whereas we've seen in GT3s, the McLaren's just been
dominant
everywhere.
Bryn's lost a bit of time to Future Events. That one looks done. Smokey's losing to Dan. Tibbs is losing to Smokey. Dennis has lost even more to the back of Kiss. Fury, he's gained again a couple of hundreds. He seems pretty content with the P2 tonight.
He's had a slide through there. Gary's just got a lap grip. Yeah, Fury's not setting faster laps. Is he setting faster laps than Gary? 51.8 for Gary. It's quicker, but only slightly from
yeah, again,
from
another
Joe.
couple of hundreds. Bryn pulls to the inside line. Breaks a lot earlier than Gary. Lets Gary go through. So it is Gary from Fury. Kiss is P3. Dennis Newman's P4. Dan P5. Smoky Devil is P6. With Tibbs P7 when the cameraman picks him up. There he is. Future Revenge P8. Bryn's P9. DJ Phil is 10th. Overtaker down in 11th. Cameraman picks him up now. And we'll just let John Andrews come through this section of the corner a little more. Cameraman wants to pick him up now. There he is. John Andrews P12. Sutty P13 and PM Motorsport bringing up 14th. Mike Matthews, driver of the day. Gary has to be, for me, has to be Gary. Great start. After how he has been in GT3s on ACC. Great to see Kiss and Dennis up at the front too. Well, let's get the poll on. We'll get mine and Jamie's vote at the minute. Let's get the poll on for driver of the day. And really, Jamie, for me, it's two drivers with an honourable mention to a couple.
Yeah. I mean, I think we know who's going to be driver of the day. Has Kiss has made a mistake, but I don't think he has.
Yeah, just a small one, because it was 6 seconds. It's come down and gone back up again. So driver of the day poll is out at the moment. Get your vote in on that one. Gary, Fury, Kiss and Dennis are the options. Sutty. Now, I've not been told we're on the final lap yet, so where's Gary? He's at the final corner now, so we're about to start the final lap of this race. Get ready.
There we go.
I didn't hear him say it, but we're on the final lap. There's no way Gary's going to get around. Sutty is 5.8 off of John Andrews. And John Andrews has got to be lapped by Tibbs. Sutty potentially on for a P12 here. John Andrews, he's a little wide. He's on the gravel. He's had a moment. So Sutty all of a sudden here.
Is
potentially in for another place. E. McKizzle, sorry if you already know you're a good driver. Had to give Gary some love. That's nice of McKizzle.
Yeah.
Tibbs being held by John Andrews here. Fury got the gap down to 5.1 to Gary, I noticed just then.
Yeah, but it's like Gary managing the gap.
Yeah.
Ooh, John Andrews ended up on the grass, so he's not. Yeah, he's managed to go now. Sutty is right behind. Oh, he's gone for a Sutty send it.
We've just witnessed a Sutty send it. We've not only seen Gary on pole, we've seen Sutty send one. Dreams do come true, people. They are real.
Someone pinch me, I'm dreaming.
Oh, my God, Gary got pole, Janetta got pole, and Sutty sent one.
We must be living in, what is this, 2021?
2020, 2021, yeah, exactly. Wow. To the Crocodiles, though. For the final time, he's gained 3 more tenths over Fury. He only came in today as a reserve driver. Well, I'm sure he's going to leave a very, very happy man. Gary 131, who is about to lap Future Revenge as well. Will Future Revenge let Gary lap him so he doesn't have to do another lap? He's safe behind. I don't think he's going to. Gary 131 wins at Kyle Army and wins for the first time on ACC. Fury will come home for a second place. Great drive from him. As Future Revenge didn't finish a lap down. Bryn did, though, in P9. The next car to cross the line will be Kiss. P3. Good effort from him today. Really strong effort from Kiss on his debut here.
Yeah, very, very strong effort.
Dennis Newman as well. A pair of 4th places for Dennis Newman. He'll take that one to the bank, no doubt. Unorthodox, P5.
Yeah,
3rd and 5th.
DJ Phil coming across the line as well for a top 10.
Yep, top 10 for Phil. Dan for P5. It's not what he wanted, but it's it's 2 top 5s nonetheless.
It is 2. Considering he's had he had quite a few incidents in that race.
Yeah.
It's a good fight back from Dan.
Great fight back from Dan indeed. Dan crossed the line, overtaker across the line for P11 as well. Smoky Devil, 6th and a 5th for him today. Decent results all around for him. Tibbs will cross the line in P7. He's had an 8th and a 7th, so not bad for him. Sooty Apex just in front. Sooty did get John Andrews with that massive send it. Oh, Sooty just dropped the rear there.
No, he's still going.
He's still going. Tibbs crosses the line 7th. Sooty crosses the line P12. Not bad. A comeback drive for Sooty Apex there. And it is just PN Motorsport for 14th and Future Revenge for 8th. Where is PN? We can see PN across the line now. There he is. In his Benetton-inspired KTM Expo crossbow. Dan will kill me for that one. PN crosses the line P14. And Future Revenge is going to cross the line for P8. Jamie, get the top 3 and we'll have a quick chat with them, boys. Future Revenge, P8 for him. So then, that was your classification. Gary, Fury from Kiss, the top 3. The championship standings. Well, they look a little interesting going into this one because Fury and Gary are tied on points. Both got a pole position, both got a race win. Tied on points are Fury and Gary. Dan, 18 points back already down in 3rd place. Dennis Newman is 19 points behind in P4. Kiss down in 5th place, 20 points off the back. Smoky Devil is P6, 25 off the back. Tibbs is 7th with Bryn in 8th. Future Revenge, Sooty Apex, is P9 with Future Revenge in 10th. DJ Phil, 11th. Have we said overtaker? I don't think we've said overtaker. No, overtaker's actually not up the order as I expect him. Future Revenge, P10 on 26 points. DJ Phil, P11 on 20. PM Motorsport, 12th on 19 points. Overtaker, 13th on 19 points. John Andrew, 14th. Yetzi, Tetu, Shane, or Ditandi, the new driver who signed up today. As we have Gary in, I believe we're just awaiting for Fury and Dan. We'll speak with Dan first due to his 3rd place in race 1. Fury's great. Ema Kislin in the chat. Great race, guys. Great start to the season. Nice work, guys, says Mike Matthews. Well done, Gary, Fury, and Kiss, says Fury's granddad. Fun fact, Kiss scored the first Hungarian podium since his win at the Spa 2.4 hour at the beginning of last season. We are just awaiting on Orthodubs to join us. So while we do, Jamie, final thoughts from you today and your driver of the day.
A very good night's worth of racing. Yeah, good way to start the GT4s, and I'm pretty sure our race winner from what come back for more. And my driver of the day has to go to Gary.
Driver of the day has to go to Gary. Well, who'd have thunk it? That is, though, Dan who jumps into the party. I'm going to have to give my driver of the day for Gary just because he has, he took fantastic set of results there and was absolutely fantastic. We are, though, joined by Dan and Fury and Gary. We'll start with Dan, who was P3 in race 1. Dan, the Chevrolet just looked a little hard work out there tonight.
Yeah, just doesn't suit this track. I spent most of the time understeering and bouncing curbs, which wasn't a problem, but it just did not work here. And I think I'm not really the biggest fan of this track anyway. I can't seem to gel with it. I'm not good around here, but I'm finally proud that Gary has finally got his 25th pole. Yeah. And he's done it in the Ginetta, which now takes its 25th pole
25th pole as well, yeah. So Gary and the
like
Ginetta.
Like you said to me the other night, it's written in the stars.
Written in the stars.
Well done. Yeah, well done, Gary. Well done, Fury. And, just...
Talk us through your races, though, Dan, because race 1, you just seem to be sort of sat behind Overtaker, couldn't really make gains on him. Race 2, bit of chaos with Smoky Devil and Exist Tibbs.
Again, I just don't know what really happened. Race 1 was all right. Yeah, I just could not gain on Overtaker, and then he messed up in the pit lane. So, it was a free podium, I guess. Really wasn't deserved. I should have been P4 in that one, but hey, you take whatever you get given. Race 2 was complete and utter carnage. I do blame Gary, but yeah, it is what it is. It's Gary lunged, or I don't think he lunged. I think he just missed his brakes, gave Fury a little love tap. Then those two were unsettled. The rest of the pack came flying at them, and then next thing you know, we're all going to the left kink, and the confetti happened. So. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah, it
receive
is
a
what
tap
it is.
from Overtaker at the left-hand kink? Because we saw
Do you know what?
we
I
saw
didn't even
Joe
see him
wide.
there.
We saw
I
Joe
didn't even
wide.
see him.
So there was contact.
I don't know.
Oh.
I have to look back because I don't. I just understeered into
Yeah.
Fury. I thought Fury had lifted. I thought Gary had
Oh.
lifted. I don't know what was going on. I thought I had the corner. I was lifting as well, but it just ended up being.
Okay. From our point of view, it looked like Fury just drifted wide, and we couldn't tell if you and Overtaker made contact. But okay, right. Dan, either way, podium number 133 for yourself. It's another podium in the books. So congratulations tonight.
Yeah, cheers. Well done to Fury and Gary, and I think Gary needs to sign up for the full season because that was spectacular driving from him.
We'll speak with Fury now. Obviously, Gary the mile. Oh, Dan as well. Congratulations on your 200th appearance in that second race.
Oh, that's why I went wrong.
Yeah. Well done, Dan, on the evening. Fury, we'll speak to you. The start of the night, pole position, race win, pretty easy. You must have thought it's like Porsche Cup all over again.
Yeah, the BMW it is a fun car. You can attack the curbs in it. It's got the straight line speed. It's just a bit wiggly on the exit curves, which is just burns up the rear tires and it starts to lose grip. But other than that, no, it's a good car, and it was a very fun night in the GT4s, and they definitely need to be here forever.
It certainly was a fun night. Race 2, though, Gary pictured to pole very slightly. I think it was half a 51 thousandths of a second to pole position. You just didn't match his pace in the race. That was the problem.
Yeah, qualifying 2, I had a bit of an incident coming into the Cheetah, but if I didn't make that incident, I would have had 5/10 coming into the last corner. But, you know, Gary and the Ginetta are just like a house on fire. They go together so well, but nah, he definitely had that race pace on me. I was catching him a bit towards the end, but there wasn't enough.
Talk us through the incident that happened at the start of race 2 between yourself and Gary. What is it from your point of view? What do you see that as?
I just classify it as a racing incident. You know, me and Gary were going through the hairpin. I guess I went on the curb, started to lose grip a bit, started to straighten it out. Gary gave me a nudge onto the grass. I tried coming off of the grass, and it just slingshotted me across the track. Caught it, and it just barely missed Gary.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nonetheless, 44 race wins to your name. You're 2 podiums away now from the 100 mark. You gained a pole position. You moved ahead of Overtaker in terms of pole positions. A good night from yourself in terms of your championship start.
Yeah, it was a good night. You know, I can't complain with a first and a second. Just got to keep it consistent for the season. Try and beat Gary because he's going to be a fiend to beat in that Ginetta. But, yeah, good night.
Well.
And congratulations to Dan and Gary.
Well, Joe, well done, mate. Congratulations. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, mate.
And we get to speak to the man. We left him last. It's took him... Dan, how many seasons has it been? Me and Jamie think 4 or 5 seasons.
I don't know why you're asking me. I ain't got a clue.
None of us have a clue. But Gary hasn't taken pole since probably season 1 of Formula 1. Gary probably hasn't taken a race win since season 1 of Formula 1, and I don't even think he won then. So it's possibly like season 5 of Project Cars 2. It has been a very long time since Gary won or took pole, and he's done both tonight in his trusted Ginetta. Gary, that was insane. No, you didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant to hear. The chat can't hear you, so we'll get that sorted for Thursday, because now you're in form. Ripper may have a challenger in the Pro Series now that you've won a race. Could be fantastic to see. Yeah. First win on ACC as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we will leave it there with Gary. We can't hear him, so we'll get his settings sorted for next time. But he's very pleased with his race win and everything else. Gary, congratulations on the evening. What you guys won't have heard as well, unless you was in a party with him, was not only did Gary get pole and Janetta get pole and Gary win, Sutty sent one and made it stick. So the miracles at Kyle Army in week 1 of Janetta. Jamie Brazier, thanks for joining me in the commentary box tonight.
No worries.
And we will be back with more GT4 action as we head to Italy for back-to-back Italian races. Monza is next week for rounds 3 and 4 of the season. You can join myself and Jamie Brazier there next Monday live at 8 p.m. GMT. On the 9th of October for that one. If you enjoyed the GT4 action, make sure you join us then. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you saw tonight. The bell to be notified and subscribe to the channel because we have plenty more in store this week. Tomorrow night is the AM category. Myself and Fury will be bringing you the commentary live from Kyle Army with that one as we then head to Pro-Am with myself and Benedict Varg will be bringing you the commentary to the Pro-Am category where Dan will be back out on the circuit this time in a different car. We'll get to that one on Wednesday night. And then Dan and Pierre will be back in the commentary box Thursday night for myself, Gary Fury and Jamie Brazier on the track in the Pro Series. It's going to be an absolute fantastic night and week of racing. You will not want to miss Simplay Motorsport, trust me. From all of us here, good night.
Testing, good night.
From all of us here, good night. Yes, your settings work there, Gary. I heard it at the end.
Lovely. Thank you.
Fucking 25th pole. What a guy.
Mate, this car